All right, thank you guys so much for tuning on. Thank you for your patience. Had to get all my stuff together. We got a lot to get into. This week is going to be extraordinary, I'm sure. Victor Brett Chat's undefeated. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG, it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Breaking news, Umar Johnson, he's facing a class action lawsuit, and now he's desperately trying to finish with renovations, although he did say that renovations were complete August 11th of 2023. So we're going to get into that too during this live stream. We have a lot to get into. I'm also planning on live streaming on the weekend because on the 6th, I believe, let me check my, excuse me. On this, why is every time I check my account, I thought it's the 7th. It's the 7th. I think it's the 7th where it marks it'll mark the 7-year anniversary. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat room. 7-year anniversary since Umar acquired his abandoned buildings. Okay, 7th. Okay, thank you so much. Someone said I got a prison shirt on. Yes, I see y'all cutting up already. All right, so the 7th, I'll plan on coming on, and I'll probably turn it into a marathon. Come on early in the morning because Umar's supposed to be doing a special live video announcement. I want to cover that in full, but I also want to go back like we normally do each year. I think we didn't do it one year, but each year we come back for the anniversary and we cover those 3 main videos that Umar posted back in February of 2019. One of the videos was the school announcement video. Another video was the school promo video. And then the third video was an outside tour of these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. And they're still abandoned to this day. So everyone, please put that in your calendar for this weekend. It'll be on Saturday, and we will get together earlier on in the day, and we'll go throughout the night, into the night, and we'll cover everything. And then we'll be waiting on Umar's live announcement. He may not even go live, but either way, we're going to get together and we'll cover the 7-year anniversary of Umar acquiring this abandoned building. So I had another whole live stream lined up for us today, but Umar, he went live just a couple of hours ago. And so this is breaking news, and I want to go, there's 3 videos. We probably won't get to all of them during this live stream because I want to really start to tie a lot of this stuff together in preparation for Saturday. I'm also working on a documentary. I'm about, I want to say 40 minutes, a little bit over 40 minutes into it right now. I want to try to have that available for members only next week. And the reason I talked about tying things together, because there's a lot of stuff that goes back, because I'm in 2011 right now, goes back all the way to 2011, that really ties to where things are at right now with Umar. There's another woman who has come forward to speak about how she donated tens of thousands of dollars to Umar. I think it was 10,000. It could have been 20. I think it's $10,000. Let me just say $10,000. And she also donated a bus to Umar, but she's also talked about how some of her experiences with Umar. And that's just another example of women coming out to speak. But the truth is that Umar set all this up, and it's a result of what he was doing, going all the way back to at least 2011, and using his platform as a speaker in the Black conscious community. By that time, he wasn't working as a school psychologist or as a principal or as a vice principal or any of that stuff, and as a way to groom and to triangulate and to target and to manipulate Black women for money and for sex. So as I'm getting into 2011, I'm already seeing everything there. So that's what I'm saying. I really want to start tying things together, especially as I progress through this document. I got a lot more work to be done on it. So during this live stream, we'll be getting to those to at least one of the videos. And I saw, because I took screenshots, he's outside. Someone said he was also, yeah, he's inside too at some point. I think we'll probably only have time to get to the first video because it's longer. But I want to reiterate to everyone that Umar already stated that renovations were complete back in August of 2023, and I'll provide proof of that. Okay, all this is starting to come together. This class action lawsuit, spearheaded by Mary Ann Lawrence, shout out to her. This is what has propelled Umar to get something done now, because he does not want this to go to court. It's a class action lawsuit. If it goes to court, then in discovery, a lot of the issues that I've talked about, especially when it comes to the financial part of this school scam, it's going to become public record. Umar does not want that to happen. So what he's doing as a preemptively now is he's trying to make it appear as if renovations are complete, and then that he's going to put in a certificate of occupancy and that it's going to be denied. There's two paths. Either he's going to say that it was denied, and it's going to be denied because he hasn't pulled proper permits for the work that's been done up there. He's had Pookie and Ray Ray do work up there. There's all types of mold remediation issues that need to take place up there. There's no IT infrastructure up there. There's all types of issues in terms of renovations actually being completed professionally, and he knows that it's not going to pass. And it's not just one inspection. There's all these different inspections. I actually researched it. We're going to have to do a show on that too, especially as we get closer to Umar, painting this false narrative that he already told people about 2.5 years ago. He said that this was going to be the issue. He was on the Breakfast Club when he said that. He was talking about how the city of Wilmington is probably going to have to march against them because they're going to deny us because of, he was saying this kind of stuff 2.5 years ago. So preemptively, he's already set this up. Now what he's doing preemptively, and it's like he's more in a frenzy, because I know how Umar is. He's trying to make it appear now that renovations are complete. So he's either going to set this up. That's what he's doing now, to set this up in order to get to the next lie, which he already told people about 2.5 years ago, that the certificate of occupancy was going to be denied, and that they're discriminating against him. It's racism, and then he can continue the scam indefinitely. Or what Umar will do is he won't apply to certificate for a certificate of occupancy. It's not going to pass, but he will say that he does, and then he's going to say that he passes, and then he's going to try to act like the school is actually going to open. And the reason why is because either way, this is how devious Umar is. Either way, he can have a comfortable excuse to not for this court case not to go to trial. You guys understand what I'm saying? In other words, he wants to avoid this class action lawsuit going to court. That's the way I should phrase this. So Umar has already set up this situation so that he can have an out in the end. Ultimately, to avoid, not to open up a school. Okay. Again, he still has to finish with renovations. He has to get these buildings furnished. He has to put in IT infrastructure. He has to have children enroll, pay $500 a month. Sister Mary Ann Lawrence said that he bumped that up to $600 a month. I'm not surprised by that, because now he can justify, if he quote unquote takes that one path where it opens up, allegedly, it'll be a fake opening, where he can say, well, no one enrolled, so that's not my fault. I still opened up the school. You see how devious this guy is? That's an impoverished community. I told people back in the day that the children there, they're not going to be able to afford to pay when they go to school for free. It's an impoverished neighborhood, drug infested, crime infested. So Umar, he set this up. He's already preemptively talked about what his strategy was going to be. We're going to march against the city. We're going to march against Wilmington. They're going to deny a certificate of occupancy. Or he may say, like I said before, he may say, hey, listen, we got it all done, but then this happened. Not enough children enrolled, or then this happened. Sabotage, or then this happened. And then he can say, well, listen, I did my part. I opened up the school so that this class action lawsuit does not go to court. That's Umar's biggest fear, outside of more Black women coming out to expose him for his predatory ways, financial and sexual exploitation of Black women. All right. So let's get on into this. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. Exactly. This is what Umar does. And then what's the irony of this, CJ, is Umar, he says that we moved the goalpost. His critics. No, Umar, you stated, I'm going to say this emphatically, and I want everyone, including you Umar Johnson followers, to hear me on this. Okay. In fact, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see you. And now I got your attention. Umar never had any intention on opening up a school. What he has done consistently and what the receipts show is that Umar moves the goalpost. And then he tells people that we, meaning his critics, move the goalpost. I want to say something to you guys emphatically and hear me on this. Umar Johnson's promise in 2010 was to open the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black boys, specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. Grand opening September 11, 2013. This is chess, not checkers. Ever since that time, Umar has consistently moved the goalpost. He said that the school was going to open 2013, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and now he's saying 27. I believe, and I have receipts to back up everything that I'm saying right here. Who's moved the goalpost? I have a video that outlines all this. We covered it last week, hit the one, and it shows you Umar changing the grand opening date, 2013, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and now we may be able to say 2027 based upon what he was saying in an interview that took place 2 days ago. And yet Umar, CJ, he gets online and tells people that we're moving the goalposts. No, Umar, what you promised was that you were going to open up a school. And the assumption was that it was going to be accredited. But Umar, you already admitted that the school will not be accredited. So what's the point? It's all about money. You mean to tell me these parents up here, they're going to pay $500 or $600 a month for their child to go to a school that's not accredited? So that when they fake graduate, they got to go and get their GED, and they're going to be paying $500, $600 a month. It makes no sense. Umar, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. When you open up a fully functional, accredited school for Black boys or for Black girls, for that matter, where you have faculty and staff, and it's functional. You have your security. You have your counselors, you have your school psychologists, you have your vice principals, you have students enrolled, you have teachers. The teachers have their 401k plan. The teachers are getting paid. Everyone's getting paid like they should be getting paid, and it's a functional business. Then I will give you credit for opening up these trap banners in Wilmington, Delaware. But what you're going to do is you're going to fake open. But that's what you've been doing since 2010. Here's the receipt. There you go. He's been at this for such a long time. Hit the one. Umar Abdullah Johnson. We already got 1,100 people. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the show. There's a poll question as well. Umar Abdullah Johnson, January 6, 2010, promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black boys, specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. Grand opening September 11, 2013. This is chess, not checkers. But Umar, as a master manipulator that he is, he's going to figure out a way to extend this. And that's why he's up there now trying to get things done to give, I don't know, the illusion of progress, maybe. Maybe he fears the donors class action lawsuit. Maybe he's doing it because he fears myself and the Cookie Crush chat and his other critics holding him accountable. Or maybe it's all of the above. Make sure you get your vote in during this live stream. Why is Umar trying to finish renovations after saying that renovations were complete in 2023? I apologize for the typo. Okay, make sure you get your vote in during this live stream. All right. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. And before I pull up this video, let me pull one other video here that I forgot to pull up. Here it is right here. Excerpts from the documentary. And again, I wanted to start this, but let me not start making excuses. I just did not have time. I was told about, shout out to James for letting me know. He had emailed me and only had like maybe 20 minutes to get everything together. We had another show lined up and I had all that organized and everything. And so I had to figure out a way to take my shower, to get dressed, and then get all of my receipts in order. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 folders that I put together. And then they have pictures and videos. And then I also have 5 separate videos as well, outside of these other videos that are inside of these folders. So I just want you guys to know the reason why I didn't get started when I wanted to is because I was getting things together. I want to make sure that I have my receipts in order. And that's what I'm saying. We have a lot to get into leading into Saturday. Okay, we'll do a marathon on Saturday, the 7-year anniversary. So I want to do this before we get into this. I'm gonna do super chats just so I can cut up to after, and then we'll get into the main video for today. So I played this recently. I'm just going to skip through the part where we see all the different grand opening dates. All right, check this out.
On January 6, 2010, Umar Abdullah Johnson posted the following message on his Facebook page. Promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black Boys, specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. Grand opening 9/1/2013. This is chess, not checkers. While this post was made in 2010, the FDMG grand opening date was set for September of 2013. So what happened between 2010 and 2013? Did Umar lay the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black Boys? On March 3, 2010, Umar Abdullah Johnson posted on his Facebook page that he is looking for young black males, high school, 14 to 17 years, to work in the FDMG aftercare and summer camp for black boys this spring, summer. I am also looking for black males interested in teaching at the FDMG School for Black Boys. Must have a bachelor's degree, squeaky clean child abuse clearance with no felonies on the state FBI criminal clearance. Email resume and clearances to umarabdullahjohnson@yahoo.com. No.
Okay, real quick. He was collecting resumes going back to 2010. And there's plenty of people who said they sent resumes to Umar with no response. That's just Umar collecting information on people. And that's why I tell people that you should never send any personal identifiable information to Umar. Where you live, your phone number, your name, your resume, none of that. You shouldn't send him any of that because he's a con man and a scammer, and he will take that information and, as one woman alleged, stole her identity. Okay, so be very careful with that, everyone.
Sisters. So what happened to the FDMG aftercare and summer camp for black boys that was supposed to take place spring, summer of 2010? These events never occurred. In fact, not much was said about FDMG in 2010. However, in 2011, several videos show Umar Johnson speaking about the idea of FDMG.
You're going to spend about $3 billion on Christmas gifts. $3 billion. Do you know how many schools you could build for our boys out here with $3 billion? With your Christmas money. We ain't talking about your toenail money. We ain't talking about your rim money. We ain't talking about your vacation money. We talking about your Christmas money, black people.
And one of the biggest problems with public education, it's designed for them to fit into the American social order that has no place for them. So we got to rethink our entire approach to education, which is why I bring up those 6 sciences, because when I approach education, and I want to open my own school one day, hopefully soon, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black Boys.
It is interesting that Umar Johnson states that he wants to open up FDMG soon, and there is still no functional accredited school. In 2012, Umar Johnson made these comments about FDMG.
And that's why I'm blessed enough to open up the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black Boys. It will be non-religious. You teach them your religion. I'm going to teach them race pride. You can give them Jesus and Muhammad, but I'm going to give them racial self-reliance.
In 2012, Umar Johnson stated that he will not teach FDMG students religion. However, in 2019, Umar Johnson stated that FDMG students will be required to learn Ifa. Ifa is a spiritual divination system that has its origins in Yorubaland, West Africa.
FDMG will
this will be the main video that we cover this coming Saturday. We'll do a marathon, right?
will be registered as an independent parochial academy. What does that mean? We are spiritual, but the word they use is religious. That's how we're registered. That means your child must study and learn Ifa, the traditional spiritual system of the Yoruba people of Nigeria. They don't have to practice. If you're a diehard Christian and you believe that you're not allowed to learn your own spiritual culture, that's fine. They don't have to practice, but they must learn. Every child will receive a divination. Every child will receive a divination. Every boy of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy will receive a divination to find out under what energy they were born. We will have a house of Shango. We will have a house of Ogun. We will have a house of Yemoja. We will have a house of Eshu. We will have a house of Oshun, Oya, a house of Obatala. Oh, yes. And we will have Obatala celebration, Oshun celebration, Yemoja celebration, Oya celebration. Oh, yes. Yes. And your child will dress up in the colors of the energy that walks with them.
In another video from December of 2012, Umar Johnson had this to say about the idea of FDMG.
The number one purpose of Team Pan African, my organization, is to build several schools, residential, revolutionary academies for young African boys and girls. I was in Los Angeles speaking this past week, and there's an elder there who granted my organization 6 of his acres of land upon which we can build a school. And so we're looking at one location being in San Bernardino, California, right outside of LA. I got another phone call this morning. There's a brother in Pennsylvania. He's an elder farmer, and he wants to grant Team Pan African several acres for us to build a school there.
If 6 acres of land in San Bernardino, California was donated to Umar Johnson in 2012, and acres of land in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania was donated to Umar Johnson in 2012, then why did it take Umar Johnson 6 more years to find a school location? More on this later.
Okay, again, everything is about extending this indefinitely. You guys understand what I'm saying? What he's doing now, what he just does today, this is just to extend the scam, this long con, further. And there's different routes that Umar can take. It's going to depend on how things play out. But ultimately, he wants to extend this. And there's always an excuse as to why the school does not open or why the school has not opened going. And again, he said it back in 2010, the school was going to open September 11, 2013. This guy's collected millions of dollars at this point. Millions of dollars.
Initially, I was only looking at one international school, starting with our boys. But with the help of the ancestors, it looks like we may have several schools being erected at the same time, and that we may be able to take care of the boys and the girls. So if you're interested in being a part of that movement to build a school district.
It is interesting that Umar Johnson was promoting the idea of an FDMG school district back in 2012. A school district would imply several schools that would exist throughout the country. This is a lofty goal for someone who had no experience in opening a school and no money to start the process of building a Pan-African school district. Remember that in 2010, Umar Johnson stated that the FDMG grand opening would be September 11th, 2013. And yet, in December of 2012, Umar Johnson is talking about opening a Pan-African school district and makes no mention of the September 11, 2013 grand opening. In July 2013, Umar Johnson gave the following FDMG update.
In my school that I'm working on building now, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Re-Africanization Academy for Boys, and the Amy Douglas, and the Anna Douglas, Frederick's wife, the Anna Douglas and Amy Jakes and Ashwood Garvey Academy for the girls, the long-term goal is to be residential. Because you cannot take a child from the home, and I know this from being a therapist. You cannot take the child from the home, do therapy on the depressed child, and send them back to the home that made them depressed. Same thing when it comes to re-Africanization. You can't take the child out of a Negro home for 7 hours, recondition their mind, and then send them back. Because what you did from 8 to 3, the parents are going to undo from 3 to 8 the next morning. So it got to be a residential academy.
To be clear, Umar Johnson conceptualized 2 separate residential academies. The first academy would be for boys and was called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, a.k.a. FDMG. The second academy would be for girls and was called the Anna Douglas Amy Garvey Academy, a.k.a. ADAG. 2 days before the September 11, 2013 grand opening deadline, Umar Johnson changed the FDMG grand opening date.
I'm simply saying that my own personal plan is to have the doors of my school open by August of 21st of 2015.
For the record, Umar Johnson changed the FDMG grand opening date from 2013 to August 21st, 2015. This began a pattern of behavior where Umar Johnson would change the FDMG grand opening date each year from 2013 to 2025. As we progress through the upcoming videos, it will be important to document each FDMG grand opening date change. Since we have the initial FDMG grand opening date as September 11, 2013, we can document it here. We can also add the grand opening date of August 21st, 2015. On September 14, 2013, Umar Johnson reiterated his August 21st, 2000.
All right, now I just want to skip through this. You guys see how I have this listed right here? I'll just want to go through and look at how many times Umar has changed the grand opening date as we progress through this. And I'm just skipping through just so we can, for the sake of time. There you go. See? Let's keep going. And there, I have all the video evidence of this. Here's more. Let me take myself off of here. Okay, I provide all of the receipts on this. Okay, so it's always been about extending this as long as possible, and that's why he's doing what he's doing now. Also, in my opinion, he's trying to avoid going to court with this class action lawsuit from FDMG donors. So this is just Umar. He's scrambling, trying to figure out a way to extend this, but then also not have to go to court. Okay, and so September. Okay, so I'm going to leave it right there. You guys saw, there it is, right? September of 2026. But I have a video where it sounds as if Umar is saying 2027. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 27, 20. It's about 28 different times. But I think we can add 29 now. And this is just what I found. There's plenty of other, I'm sure, examples of him changing the grand opening date. I want to go to a video real quick. It was an interview. Umar was interviewed on February 1st. I got the wrong time on here. February 1st of 2026, 2 days ago. Listen to what Umar says when he's asked about FDMG.
Oh, I'm doing great. I've been great. No issues here. Everything's been great. Still helping parents save their children from the school to prison pipeline. Still keeping our children off the psychiatric meds. Helping parents navigate the special education system. You know, my expertise and my commitment to destroying that school to prison pipeline continues. It hasn't stopped. It's been 25 long years full of blessings, full of victories, full of struggle. I'm just going to keep on doing what the Lord.
Here he go. He got some nerve bringing up the Lord. There was like 22 people in that chat room. Okay, he's just doing any old show he can do at this point. There was like 22 people, and the video got about 300 views so far. Okay, right now we got 1,450 live viewers right now. And so, but Umar, he will call other people struggle streamers. And he inside of the mama closet too, by the way. That's his mama closet.
Put me here to do. And as I said, we'll be going for our building inspection this month. You know, we'll be applying for it this month, FDMG, so God willing.
See, he always says God willing. By the way, Umar, he's saying that he's going to put in a certificate of occupancy this month. Right? This is strategic because he's trying to get out in front of this class action lawsuit. And Umar knows that these trap banners are nowhere near being ready to pass any inspections. And it's not just one.
We'll pass that, hopefully with flying colors. If we don't.
And this is so janky. Cut it out. I don't mean to be like that, but lady, don't do that. Y'all too grown.
With flying colors, we'll just do whatever repairs the city requires us to do, because it can't be much. You know, it can't be much because we've done everything at this point. There's really no stone that has been left unturned. And once we get that building inspection, we're going to start hosting programs inside of the FDMG Academy as we prepare.
See what he's doing? There's another thing. Umar, what he may be attempting to do is to get it get it renovated enough to where he can hold some events, not a school, but he has some event there, and that justify, hey, listen, we don't need to go to court on this class action lawsuit from the donors because look, it's open. But remember, Umar promised a school, a fully functional school, and it needs to be accredited. You're not going to get it needs, like I said before, faculty, staff, student enrolled. It needs to be a fully functional school, Umar. But you see what he's doing is he may be setting this up to where, okay, we're going to have events up here, but it's not going to be where they're teaching children or anything like that, which was what he promised. But then he passes that off and saying, look, the school is open. You see?
To receive our children next August.
Right on.
He says next August. He didn't say this August. He said next August. When would next August be? Could Chris chat? This guy, he's diabolical. He really is. August of 2027. Yeah, Ann. I mean, how many times have we gone through this with this guy? I mean, we just getting into 2026, but he's saying, yeah, he meant August 35th of 2020, Black August. Next month 30, yeah. Okay, so I just want to be clear about this. We can add that to this up here. Okay, we can add that to the list. Oh man, Umar, he's something else.
If you're looking for teachers, we have options here. I know that's right. We want Queen Mother Press.
Girl, you need to cut it out. Cut it out. You need to stop. You up here sound like Father David.
Start hosting programs inside of the FDMG Academy as we prepare to receive our children next August.
Right
Damn.
on. And if you're looking for
he's just there next August, family. All right. Okay. So I just want to set that up. We're all good with that. All right. But again, this is to extend this indefinitely. He's been doing this now since 2026. Look at that. Since 2010, he's been changing these grand opening dates, and he just changed the grand opening date again. All right. Before we get to the main video, I want to do these super chats. I'm going to have to do them quickly because we got a lot to get into. And then we'll be back tomorrow because we're going to do part 2. And we'll probably do part 3 the following day, if that makes sense to everyone. So let me get to these super chats. I need to change out these batteries. Everyone, give me 1 second here.
1 year later would be September of 2026. Over the last 16 years, Umar Johnson has changed the FDMG grand opening date at least 28 times. The question is, why? Why would Umar Johnson change the grand opening date so many times? The answer to this question is both simple and diabolical. Understand that Umar Johnson has no intention of opening a fully functional, accredited school. His intention is to keep deceiving his supporters while collecting donations indefinitely.
Yeah, my apologies, everyone. Yeah, I forgot to unmute myself. Yeah, so I was just saying that is a segment from the documentary. I'm working on a documentary covering Umar Johnson's whole life. The documentary at this point is probably about 3 hours, maybe a little bit more than 3 hours already. And then I'll be premiering the next segment sometime next week for members only. And I'm in 2011 right now. So I got a whole lot more work ahead of me. Okay, and everything's archived, documented. Okay, receipts after receipt. And I'm not speculating or saying I think or he may be, none of that stuff. Now, there are times in the document where I will speculate, and then I'll make sure that I will say that in the actual document. But for the most part, I'm going to say 98% of the time, maybe 99% of the time, it's just going to be Umar with his own words, facts, receipts from the internet, so forth and so on. And this goes on and on. Paperwork. All right. Okay. Let me do the super chats real quick because we got to get going here. Umar Johnson only a vegan when he's getting his. All right, user 225. Umar got sponge and scrub, probably got waxed. Y'all won't let it go, huh? Room Run 30 Cafe serving scrambled Princess Chillins. Okay. All right. Thank you for the super chat. Sonia became a member. Thank you so much, Sonia. Appreciate that. Rosetta gifted a membership. Thank you, Rosetta, for that. I appreciate it. Lewis Suck says, Lenon, you and Black Anonymous need to stop playing Call of Duty and do this show. That's because I was running late. Yeah, I don't. Shout out to Black Anonymous. Shout out to Lewis Suck. Thank you for super chat. I don't have time to play video games like I used to. Every once in a while, I'll be able to play Civ, but it's normally while I'm like doing something, because this is laid back game. But the game that I really want to put time in was Starfield. They have a new update's coming soon as well. They also have a Star Trek mod, Star Wars mod. I just have not had time. I mean, it's been a really long time. I feel bad because I really want to get into that game, but I just don't have time. Thanks, Lewis Suck. U.S. advisors Umar Johnson salty that an Asian has the best jokes about it. Yeah, he may be. Thank you. CJ says, honestly, wouldn't even a fake opening land him in legal trouble too? Yes, it could, but I don't think Umar cares because it would have to become legal. His whole objective is to stop things from becoming legal issues. He has white lawyers for that. See, that's what they're attempting to do with the and I don't want to speak too much on this, but Sister Marianne Lawrence with the class action lawsuit that she's filed with she's spearheading it. Umar does not want that to get into court because discovery will prove everything that I've been saying about Umar, especially when it comes to the money. Because the issue is the money. This is about the donors. They want to understand where's the money gone, how much money's been raised. What's the money been spent on? How much money does he have left? How much money does he need? When's the school going to open? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if he can avoid that, he will do that. He will spend tens of thousands of dollars at this point, at least over $100,000 for lawyers and lawyers' fees and paying out settlements to keep this out of the public eye. Just like he paid Sister Marianne Lawrence, I believe it was $68,600 to keep the behind the scenes video footage of Awaken out from keep it away from public eye because it would be extremely incriminating and damaging to Umar's reputation as a so-called heterosexual male. I said so-called. But he has white lawyers lined up that he's paying using donation money because he doesn't have a job. So to keep out of legal trouble. So they can figure out a way. And I think that he's probably already, my speculation, I'm speculating here, is that his lawyers have already advised him would just do something, get something done so that this does not go to court. Because they don't care that Umar is a scammer, that he's a pathological liar, that he's out here sexually exploiting black women, that he's out here financially exploiting black people. They don't care about any of that. They want to get paid. So their job is to get him off the hook. That's what their job is. That's what lawyers do. All right. Or if you're a defense, or if you're, depending on what you guys understand what I'm saying. So they want to avoid the legal trouble. So in this case, they probably already advised him, all you have to do is to do something that shows that the school is open. Or that you've made your final effort to get the school open, which would be the certificate of occupancy. In this case, that's what they're going to attempt to pass off. It'll be one of the other, or a fake opening. One of the things, it's not whether or not it's going to be a legitimate opening, grand opening, or that Umar legitimately and in good faith puts in a certificate of occupancy because he knows that renovation work has been completed professionally by professionals. See, not in good faith. It's about extending this con as long as possible and then avoiding legal trouble. See, these nuances that they're manipulating in essence, based upon what Sister Marianne Lawrence talked about. Okay. All right, thanks, CJ. Kogo says, wouldn't a certificate of occupancy be part of renovations being done and the school opening? Stop playing, take it to discovery. Yeah, it needs to go to discovery. The thing is that there are things that there's a list of things that Umar needs to do before he files for a certificate of occupancy. Matter of fact, we'll get to that at some point this week. Okay, I've already done the research, but I'll put together a little presentation there for Wilmington, Delaware, for commercial property or industrial. It's zoned as industrial. There's specific things that Umar will have to do. On top of that, too, there are things that Umar is going to have to do in terms of regulations for a school. That's something separate. But the point is, the certificate of occupancy, a standalone certificate of occupancy for a commercial building or for an industrial building, in this case, light industrial, there are specific things that Umar Johnson has to do. And there's different. It's not just one, because he says we have to pass the inspection. No, there's different inspections that he has to go through. And he knows, Umar knows that he's not going to pass. Because one of the first things they're going to do is they're going to go and they're going to pull permits. And they're going to find that permits were not pulled for all the work that has been done. That's an automatic fail. Umar knows that. His lawyers know that too. So it's not in good faith, right? All right. Thanks, Kogo. Big Man, what's up? Says, with Umar the Bear, it's not chess or checkers. It's tic-tac-toe and a game of teeth. Why you got to bring up teeth? I ain't gonna lie. I miss Teef. I hope she's doing okay. She doesn't support Umar like she used to. Something probably happened. And she probably got fed up and she was through with Umar. Because what he does is he exploits, he uses, and she was sending him a gang of money. Ain't no telling. Because she was part of the inner circle, but she's not around like she used to be. Yeah. If she ever wants to come on the show and talk about her experience with Umar, she's welcome to do so. Right. All right. Thanks, Big Man. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Shout out to Big Man. D. Will says, let's say you opened 2013. If a kid started kindergarten, that same kid would be graduating this summer, going to college this fall. It's a damn shame. Yeah, I haven't thought about it like that, but you're right. If Umar opened based upon what he said, September 11, 2013, he said that in 2010, then by now, the child starting in kindergarten, they'd be going into college. Not one black child has been educated. Millions of dollars raised. Umar, he doesn't care about educating black children. He's never been an educator. He tells people that he has, but no, Umar's never been an educator. He's never taught in a classroom. Isn't that deep, though? If he started when he said he was going to start, if the school opened when he said it was going to open back in 2013, this child should be going off to college this fall. Instead, what do we have? Millions of dollars raised, all types of excuses, all types of scandals, all different scams. King Randall scammed King Randall out of $3,000, something like that. And not one black child has been educated. That's a good point, D. Will. Really good point. Thank you. YouTube Define says, House of Shango, isn't that room? All right. Big Man says, Umar the Bear. Every bear will receive a picnic basket, a beehive, and a jar of mayonnaise. That sounds like something Umar was saying back in February of 2019 with the school announcement video. That's what we're going to cover. We'll do a marathon on Saturday. I normally don't live stream on Saturday, but I'll live stream on Saturday. Because he was saying all these different things that he was going to do and what the children are going to be able to do and what they're going to receive and all this stuff. And this sounds like something he would have said back then. All right. Thank you, Big Man. I appreciate it. A new T-Dig says life safety, fire suppression is mandatory. Yeah, these are some of the things. State fire marshal will require full sprinklers, alarms, and structural compartmentation. You know what you're saying, right? Cost typically runs $100,000 to $500,000 for a building this size. Yeah, listen, Umar, the whole objective at this point is to give the illusion of progress to the extreme so that this class action lawsuit does not go to court. That's what this is all about. And if that class action lawsuit wasn't in effect right now, Umar, he wouldn't have been up here doing all this, especially in the wintertime. Hit the one. He wouldn't have been doing this. But he sure get up there now. Let me read this again. Life safety, fire suppression is mandatory. State fire marshal will require full sprinklers, alarms, and structural compartmentation. Cost typically runs $100,000 to $500,000 for a building this size. And this, to be clear too, this is the smaller buildings. So on one parcel, he has what he calls a small school and the small gym. Okay, so whatever that would be for both of those structures, he hasn't done anything on the other side of the street. One time he was talking about selling that bigger building. I have the receipt on that. I've never played it, but we'll get into that at some point. It's not a video, it's audio from Big Papa Podcast. Thank you, Anu T. Diggy. We need to do a show just to go and cover these types of topics, in particular what Umar needs to do in order to get a certificate of occupancy, because he's never outlined it. All right. It doesn't matter to him because this is just to give the illusion of progress and then have an excuse why the school doesn't open. The city denied me the certificate of occupancy. All right. Thank you for the super chat. The Zen Old Flux says, great work, Lynn. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. Okay, I appreciate it. I truly do. Thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat. FDMG Treasurer says, the Quick Chat should fundraise and open our own school to make up for Umar BS. See, the thing is that a school is a major undertaking. You know, Umar with the narcissism and the grandiosity, I think at some point he probably thought that he can pull it off, but it's not like he really wanted to. It's that he, in his own mind, he thought that maybe I can pull this off. Did he ever have intentions on actually opening up a school? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because it wouldn't take this long. The school's supposed to open in 2013. We're in 2026. No, it wouldn't take that long, especially with the amount of money that Umar Johnson has raised, millions of dollars. He could have started something somewhere easily by now. But see, I'm gonna say something else. FDMG treasurer, one of Umar's biggest mistakes was to purchase these trap banners in Wilmington, Delaware. He says he got them for $700,000, around $700,000. Online receipts say $400,000, and his IRS filings show. Look at this. We covered this the other day. This is from his 2020 tax filing, and for his 2000. This is 2020. All right, so if you look right here under, this is part 10 balance sheet, and you go to 10A, it says land, buildings, and equipment costs or other bases. This would be these abandoned buildings. There's nothing there. Umar reported zero. Okay, but what he does do after that, and he also reported on his 2020 tax filings that he didn't receive any donations either. But what he does is he backlogs it on his 2021 IRS filing. And I'm gonna come back to this later. But look now what he puts. This is part 10 balance sheet, 10A, land, buildings, and equipment costs. You see 10A, other basis. 10A, it says $436,996. That could be the purchase price plus, let's say, closing costs plus any appreciation in value, if there was any. You guys see this? So Umar is telling people that it costs around $700,000. Why would he do that? Well, he does that because he doesn't want any accounting for what, about $264,000 that's now missing. He's a con man. Because that money, where'd that go? But he wants to say, hey, listen, oh, 700,000. No, that's not what he reported to the IRS. He reported to the IRS $436,996. Okay, and my doing math in my head is not all that great. So it used to be, especially when I was a kid. Let me do this. We're going to take around he says it's around 700,000. We're going to minus $436,996. That's $263,004 that's now missing. That Umar can say, oh no, listen, that went towards the purchase price. No, he's a con man. You donors need to be aware of this. That's why he does not want this to go to court, because in discovery, they're going to pull all his financial records. They're going to pull a GoFundMe, PayPal, bank accounts, the personal bank account, FDMG bank account, CashApp. The list goes on and on and on. And who knows whatever accounts he has where he's funneling money to different places. And they're going to be able to figure out exactly how much money he spent to acquire these abandoned buildings. And like I said, I don't believe it's 700,000. I think it's less than that. Online records, 400,000. What he reports to the IRS. This right here it's more likely that this is the amount. He lies all the time. $436,996. But when I do my initial calculations, I take his word for it. I use $400,000 for the online records, and then I do another calculation based upon what Umar Johnson says, $700,000, which gets us to about $1.9 million, not counting 2025, 2014, 15, 16, 17, or 18. This guy's raised. Listen, he has to be close over $3 million by now, easily. Okay, but again, if we want to calculate based upon Umar what the IRS says, okay, well, that's going to get what he reported to the IRS. Well, that's going to get us back down to roughly, let me see, minus 0.9, and this is roughly that he's raised a bare minimum of around $1,636,996, not counting 2025, not counting 2014, 15, 16, 17, or 18. Okay. But the point is, there's no transparency. Umar has done whatever he wanted to with the money, and he doesn't report properly to his donors, even though he says that he does. But that's because he has no intention of opening up a school. He has no intention of being credible. He has no intention of being having integrity and being forthright. He wants to keep things closed. so that he can continue to collect money and use most of the money for himself, and there's no accountability. All right. We may come back to these particular receipts a little bit later on. That's why I was pulling this up and getting this ready before this live stream. But again, $436,996. And that's what he's reporting for 2021. He purchased them in 2019. All right. Okay. Let me do these other super chats, then we're going to get into it. Thanks, New T Diggy. Let's see. D Will. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. I apologize. Okay, here's right here. Okay, thank you. D Will says, if he had a grand opening block party, I'm going undercover. I'll report my findings to the Ku Klux Klan. No, I wouldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't, because you never know these Umar Johnson followers. You never know what they may say or what they may do. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend it. D Will, it's better to stay safe. It's all a scam anyway. Even that block party, that was just to give the illusion of progress. It's more of smoke and mirrors. I wonder how many tens of thousands of dollars Umar wasted on that. Nothing to show for it. Not one black child has been educated. Okay, but I wouldn't recommend it. D Will. Thank you for some chat. UTD also says accessibility upgrades, ramps, railings. There are railings that are missing too. I think it's for the side of the larger gym. I've seen that. And accessible restrooms are mandatory ADA requirements for any public building, including schools. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if Umar has considered all those things. You know, there's a lot to consider. He doesn't have a team, even though he says he has a team. So normally you would have a board of directors, you would have people in that field, you know, and not just education, but construction. You would have lawyers on deck, you would have accountants on deck, you would have a general contractor. Umar doesn't have any of that. Okay, not officially. None of that is reported to the IRS that even has a board director. He's the only one on the board of directors listed. So that would be a hub through which I'm talking about a board of directors. It's a hub of professionals who would advise Umar on everything that needs to be done. Of course, the general contractor, when it comes to regulations and all requirements, all that stuff, they would be the main person. And then Umar would be communicating with the city about these things too, but he's not doing that. I know he's not doing that. He's a one-man show. So yeah, there's a lot of different mandatory requirements. The other thing is that Umar, he perceives this to be independent in the sense that he can do whatever he wants to, however he wants to, and that there's no oversight from the city, no oversight from the state, no oversight from the federal government. He wants to do, that's how he conceptualizes. It's like a miniature cult. It's a cult compound type of thing. So I highly doubt that Umar has investigated into this, let alone gone through the steps to make sure all this stuff is in order. Okay, now that you type this here, he may do something and do a live stream saying, hey, look, we also got the ADA requirements done. Because that's what consistently hit the one over the years. That's what's happened, including with what he's doing right now. See, if we didn't hold him accountable, Umar, he would have been content with being lazy like he is and not really do half of the stuff that he's at least attempted to do. And this includes the class action lawsuit as part of holding Umar accountable. But over the years, what I have seen and what the evidence shows is that when we report on Umar consistently and we break down what he's doing and what he's not doing and how this is a long con, it's a scam, we say, well, he should have done this. He should have, I told in 2019, he should erect a fence first thing to keep these buildings safe. He didn't do it. He does it later though. So even you, Umar Johnson, I want you to understand something, and this is not to be a boastful. But you should be thanking us, real talk, because we've had bigger impact in terms of motivating Umar to get things done up there than you have. He has no respect for you, none. But when he sees the critique, when he sees the reporting, when he sees the receipts, he has to take action. And consistently, that's what the receipts show, that he takes action based upon what we tell him he needs to do. So why is it that his critics have to give him information and tell him what to do, and he wouldn't do it otherwise? Well, that's because he never intended on opening up a school. All right. Thanks, New T Diggy. A lady, how's it going? Says you just gonna slip so-called hetero man on? Yeah, listen. Listen. It is what it is. It is what it is. Listen. Whatever Umar's into, that's his business. It's like I said before. It don't make me no difference. It's not going to change my analysis. It proves he's a hypocrite because he's been taking shots at the LGBTQ community for decades now. But clearly, Umar, you know, hey, he into some things. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. And that's okay. It's not going to change my analysis. Anyway, we're going to leave that right there. All right, room 130. Thank you, lady. Patty. Byron says, how is Umar still doing? How is he still doing this? Well, Umar, he's a master manipulator. And it's not just what he's doing with this FDMG long con school scam. It's just in life. He's a master manipulator. You know, more recently becomes clear the degree to which Umar is manipulating these black women. You know, especially when the black women come out and speak about their experiences with Umar and how he manipulated him. Stole $6,000 out from this one woman's bank account. Another woman, she was a stroke victim, alleged that Umar SA'd her. There's another a young lady more recently, she's doing videos and she talked about how, and listen, I'm not going to say too much, and I'm paraphrasing, how with her first intimate interaction with Umar, that he, quote unquote, took it. Of course, in 2025, Sister Lene blows everything, blows up the spot with Umar and how Umar has his mama living and living in filth, and how Umar gets women to come and take care of his mama. You know, not people who are even in the professional healthcare, provide professional healthcare services. And she also talked about some of the things Umar was into in terms of the sexuality. Of course, we had Sister Mary Ann Lauren. This is a woman who was an Umar Johnson supporter. All these women are Umar Johnson supporters. Used to be. Not haters. She comes out and talks about how she put together a whole film for Umar, financed everything. And Umar was trouble from the jump, and he was causing all types of problems, sleeping with the people in the film, you know, all kind of stuff, and try to steal her intellectual property, and then threatened to sue her for $500,000. And then when she talks about the footage that she was going to release dealing with the behind the scenes in the metrosexual male from room 130 that spent the night with Umar in room 130 and slept in the bed because there wasn't no couch in there. Umar said there was a couch. There wasn't no couch in there. When she threatens to release that video footage, Umar, he settles out of court and pays her $68,600. How do you go from trying to sue someone for $500,000 who went all out their way to support you and put together a whole film for you and finance everything and deal with all of the chaos that Umar brought to the set? Talking about the studio set, not the set as in set tripping. That makes sense. You're going to try to sue the woman for steal her intellectual property, and then try to steal her intellectual property, then try to sue her for $500,000, and then you end up paying out $68,600. So the point is that he's a master manipulator. He's been at this for a very long time. It's not just with this FDMG school scam, and the permanent issue, virus, is accountability. The accountability hasn't been there. Now, I've done my best to hold Umar accountable. I've done my best. But the truth is that the people who should be holding Umar Johnson accountable the most are the people in the Black conscious sector. They should be the ones at the forefront, because he's been at this for a very long time. Long before he started talking about, raising money for the St. Paul school scam in 2014. Way before that. He was a problem back in the UNIA days. Real talk. That goes back. He put in a resignation letter in 2005. He's been at this for a very long time. There's no accountability. That's one of the big issues in the Black conscious space, especially with the online internet-based leadership, is everyone's allowed to run amok. No one holds anyone accountable. So that's part of it. He's a master manipulator. There's no accountability. That's what Umar wants. That's how Umar Johnson wants it to be. He's developed this online cult, so they don't question anything. No critical thinking skill. I shouldn't say that. No motivation to think critically about what Umar is saying and doing day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. He's decade by decade. He's been at this for a very long time. These are some of the reasons why Umar has been able to do this for this long. But I'm telling you guys right now, I've already stated, and I've been on record, that around this time next year, this is going to be over with the FDMG school scam in Wilmington, Delaware. And we'll see. We'll see. I've been wrong before. Yeah. But this can't go on forever. Right? Thank you, Virus, for the super chat. Big Man says, Umar the Bear grand procrastination dates 2013 Krispy Kreme White Castle Academy. Okay. Umar grand procrastination dates 2013 was a Krispy Kreme White Castle Academy. 2015 was the IHOP Waffle House bar. 2018 was the MacGyver Inspector Gadget Institute. I used to love me some Inspector Gadget. 2023, Ogun Tadao Helicopter School. And 2026, Ann's Tuna Melt Shop. All right, you didn't have to do that last one. Big Ann. Yeah, those are good old days. You remember the good old days. All right, shout out to Big Man. Thank you for super chat. Also, thanks Virus too for super chat as well. Okay, I think I'm almost done here. We got to get going. We are the hour. We got 1,700 people in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. Our goal is 500. Okay, but if we can get to 1,000 next time, make it 1,000. Okay, you haters. There is a poll question. Why is Umar trying to finish renovations after saying that renovations were complete in 2023? 18% said to give the illusion of progress. 13% said fear of donors. Class action lawsuit. 2% said Lenon and Kukwashat holding him accountable. 67% says all of the above. Make sure you get your vote. His chat room crazy. All right, thank you. YouTube said Leonard missed my earlier. No, I think I got all of them. Okay, if I missed them, let me know. I think I got them. I'm just going through these one by one. Thank you, user 225. Barry says you can't paint over mold. Yeah, this is another issue. Now, Umar, he gives an update. I don't know if he actually shows that the parts of the building that had mold infestation. We'll have to wait and see. But that's a whole nother issue that's going to have to be determined because they have health inspectors. People brought this up a couple of months ago, and I hadn't thought about this. They have health inspectors. They'll be inspecting specific things: air quality, water quality, right? I'm sure there's all kinds of other stuff that they would be inspecting. And the mold is a serious issue up there. And it's on both sides of the street. It's not just on the exterior of the buildings, it's on the interior too. In fact, there's a video, and I think if we have time today, I'll show it. If not, I'll show it tomorrow because we got a lot to get into. They were in the gym, in the small gym, and they were there's no ventilation, no HVAC system working, and they have standing water in there, and it was standing water in there for many years before Umar acquired those abandoned buildings. But they put bleach and Fabuloso on down onto the ground. And there was a guy in the corner, he was talking about how there was black mold, and you can see it. This is a huge issue that Umar, he hasn't really talked about. Not to my knowledge, I don't think he's ever talked about that. Has Umar ever talked about the mold situation outside of saying we're going to take care of that? I don't think he's ever talked about that. Black Anonymous, you hear, right? Did you ever heard Umar talk about how he's going to deal with the black mold? Or even mildew for that matter? I don't think he's ever talked about it. James, have you heard Umar talk about that? I haven't heard him talk about that. It's fascinating. This is the first time it really came to mind. I see everyone saying no in here. Yeah, you can't paint over a mold. Someone said Mill don't. This chat room it's the best chat room on the planet, but it's a mess. All right. I said, why would you? Okay, let me let it go. Yeah, Coco, he said we're gonna wipe it down. We're just gonna wipe that down. We're gonna wipe that mold off. Yeah. Let me get out of this chat room. Let me get out. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Someone said, I said mildew. Someone said mill don't. All right. Okay, thanks, Virus, for super chat. What's up, Shreves? Say here at the Laker game halftime. Shout out, quick question. Yeah, enjoy the game. Yeah, shout out to the Lakers. Yeah, shout out to the Lakers. I wanted to do a sports show so bad. I just don't have the time. But I was going to do a sports show focusing on Lakers. Yeah, enjoy the game. That's awesome. Yeah, shout out to LeBron. Thank you for the super chat. Coco says inspector are done along the way, then a final inspections are done along the way, then a final. Yes, I see what you're saying. So, in other words, if Umar, and that's why the general contractor is important. That if Umar had an official general contractor, he says that he's had general contract. He said he didn't, but then he said he did. He's just lying. He just gets anybody to do work for the most part. The electricians, they were professional. But what would happen is the general contract, they will put together a schedule and they follow the schedule from point A to point Z. And then once certain inspections once certain renovations are done, then the inspection would come in for that. And then when the next thing is done, they would come in for that. Then they pass everything off so that by the time they put in their certificate of occupancy, they already have a track record of things coming. Now, there's other inspections in terms of the certificate of occupancy that needs to take place too, but you would have a track record of, and then there'll be permits that they can show and all this kind of stuff. Umar doesn't have all of that. See? Yeah, stuff would be done on a timeline, including inspections, and then you have final inspections, right, to get the certificate of occupancy. All right, thanks, Coco. Lewis Luck says, I wonder what he's telling the judge at his child support hearings. He can't claim no income if he's getting $125,000 in donations yearly. Even nonprofits pay salaries. It's got to be not in his name. Yeah, well, the thing is that Umar, he set up the FDMG RBG International Leadership Academy. That is the corporation. It's incorporated in, I think it's in Delaware, if memory serves me correctly. So in his tax filings with the IRS, and I can show it to you, he doesn't put on there that he's actually receiving any income, personal income, right? So you have money coming into this entity, FDMG Corporation, and it's a nonprofit entity. It's not subject to taxation. Now, if Umar put under, if he, and he's part of this corporation, but if he put under this corporation that money is being paid out to him, which he could have done legitimately, he said, take a salary of $80,000, $100,000, $125,000, whatever, then what happens is whatever money funnels down to him, that's now personal income for him, and he's now liable to pay taxes on it. So what Umar has done is he set up this, I mean, he's such a con man. He set up this entity, this legal entity that is called FDMG RBG International Leadership Academy for Boys, something to that effect, that where all the money is brought in as a nonprofit, it's not subject to taxation. And then he reports to the IRS that he's not paying himself, right? So all the money is there. But then what he does, he uses the money for himself. He spends it on whatever he wants to spend it on. And then there's no oversight. There's not an accountant. There's a general contract, lawyers, no team. So there's no accountability whatsoever. He does whatever he wants to. So that's how he gets away with this, because legally he's not being paid. Same thing with the child support. See, the child support for decades now, literally decades, you'll see if you guys look at on his child support docket, it say generic order. That's where they're trying to find out where Umar Johnson's income is from. But they can't do it in terms of FDMG because FDMG is a legal entity, and the money, and Umar is reporting to the IRS that he's not receiving any of that money. See, he set this up in that way on purpose. Now, one of the questions that could be raised in a documentary, I thought about this. What about the years where Umar doesn't have tax exempt status? All that money is personal income. And in that sense, that's when the child support court, they could get money out of Umar going into his bank accounts, including bank account that he calls FDMG, because that's personal income. Unless he's hidden that money. That's what you call embezzlement. Isn't that embezzlement? Yeah. Yeah. So the point is, this is how he gets away with what he's doing. In terms of, you want to look at child support, yeah, this is how he gets, or paying taxes. See, the money that Umar spends on himself, that money should be subject to taxation. Furthermore, in 2014, when he's raising money, he doesn't have tax exempt status. So that's all that money, that's his own personal income. That's why he starts racking up these massive tax liens around that time, 2015. Excuse me, he gets tax exempt status in 2015. He doesn't report to the IRS for 2015, 16, or 17, so they revoke his nonprofit status. He didn't report to the IRS anything. So that's all personal income too. But he holds the nonprofit. He had the nonprofit at that. So that's a way for him to get out of it. Then you have 2018, 2019, where Umar's collecting money. In 2020, then he finally gets tax exempt status again in 2020, but it's not retroactive. So all the money that Umar raised from 2018, 19, and 20, that's personal income too. So what the receipts will show is that child support is able to get money out of Umar for those years where he did not have tax exempt status, assuming they were able to find out where the money was at. Because who knows what he's done with the money, or he's funneled money here or put it in other accounts or what have you. There's no telling. That's why if he was ever audited, truly audited, he says he was. I'm talking about, no, I don't believe him. If he was ever truly audited, the financial aspects and everything was subpoenaed, all his bank records, all the money that he's collected, it'd be a wrap for this guy. All right. Thanks, Louis Luck. Miss G615 says the deed recorded as $10 and in good viable considerations. There isn't an actual amount. There are only 3 buildings recorded, 2 schools and a gymnasium. Yes. So there's 3 buildings. There's 2 abandoned buildings. And I always got to say abandoned, and then a third small. And there's on 2 separate parcels. So on one side of the street, you have the larger building. On the other side of the street, you have the 2 smaller buildings. Yeah, the transfer deed shows $10. I have that. I was the one who broke that story back in 2019. In fact, I think we broke that story prior to Umar making the actual school announcement, if memory serves me correctly. And I can't remember who it was. It was someone who had emailed me. And it was someone, they weren't an Umar Johnson critic or anything like that, but they emailed me the receipt and asked me to report on it. And that's exactly what I did. Let me see. They were behind the scenes. There was probably an Umar Johnson supporter who was involved with all of this going back to 2019. I said, yeah, 2019. So let me see here. Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, so this is the transfer deed. This deed made this 6th day of February in the year 2019 between K-12 Delaware LLC. I know these K-12 know a lot about what's been going on with Umar behind the scenes, especially in those earlier days in 2019, 2020. If anyone ever wants to come out and speak about this, who were a part of this, I could pre-record you and put a voice modulator, take out any personal identifiable information, and we could do an interview. And Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, RBG International Leadership Academy, Inc. Okay, you see the Inc. there? He's incorporated in Delaware, a corporation of the Commonwealth of. I'm sorry. No, he was incorporated in Pennsylvania. The reason why I said Delaware is because from what I remember in the school announcement video, I thought he said Wilmington. Okay, but I stand corrected. On the document itself, I apologize. I want to speak with the facts here. The actual document here says a corporation of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Okay, so I stand corrected. But I thought he said inside, and I could be wrong. I may have just got it mixed up. I thought inside the school announcement video, he said that he was incorporated in the state of Delaware. And then he says Marcus Garvey incorporated in the state of Delaware to, what did he say, 1919, Umar Johnson in 2019, something like that. Anybody remember that? Anyway, yeah, it does say FSMG. That means full of shit. I'm sorry. It's just a typo. It's a typo, y'all. Okay. If you look at the return to towards the upper right-hand corner, it says return to FSMG Academy. Okay, that just means full of shit. Whoever wrote this, they knew what was up. Okay. Let me stop playing. All right. So anyway, I'm going to look into this again. When we cover the video on the main video for the marathon on Saturday, we'll listen to what Umar said. I thought he said incorporated in the great state of Delaware. Anyway, witnesseth that said party of the first part for and in consideration of the sum of $10 and 0 cents, in essence, $10 and other good viable consideration, lawful money of the United States of America, the receipt thereof is hereby acknowledged and hereby grant and convey unto the said party of the second part its successors and assigns in fee sample. And then 610 East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. And there's 2 parcels. This is just for one of the parcels. I don't think I ever had the actual one for the other side of the street. The point is that this $10, it doesn't mean that he acquired his abandoned building for $10, because there are other goods and viable considerations, lawful money. So there's more money and other considerations. And also what Umar reported to the IRS was that he purchased these trap bundles for $436,000, I think it was. And then online records show $400,000. I go with now, officially, I'm going to go with what he reported to the IRS, although Umar also stated that he acquired these abandoned buildings for around $700,000. Right? Right. So this is the receipt right here. And some of you guys were around back then. I actually broke this story, and I broke it before Umar made the school announcement. Right. Okay. Thanks, Miss G615. All right. And yeah, there are 3 buildings. Even the EPA, when they went out there and did their inspection out there, they classified these abandoned buildings as brownfield caliber sites, and they identified 3 buildings. Umar says 4. I also have on record saying that there's 5 buildings. All right. Thank you for the super chat. New T Diggy says, I have a list of things and permits he needs and costs. I'll email to you. Yeah, please do, because I can put together a presentation, and we probably definitely need to get into this, especially as we get closer to Umar. Allegedly, he's going to be making this big announcement on the 6th. Either way, we will be live streaming, and we'll be covering the school announcement video, the school promo video, and the outside tour from February of 2019. All right. Thank you, New T Diggy. I appreciate it. Big Man says, Umar trivia, after Kim was tired and sore from a night of bare passion. What was what was Umar's response? A, so what? B, and C, get on your damn Cash App. D, I'm sorry. D is the no, you should have told us what the correct answer is. That is lame. The correct answer, I remember he said, I'm sorry. Yeah, I remember that. That was why I rarely put up those receipts because she actually showed tech. This is what Umar called it, a conscious stripper. Her name was Kim Ringo. This was a stripper that Umar was dealing with intimately. She had sons, and she thought that Umar was going to help her with their sons. But I've been telling people that that's what he does. He targets single black mothers who are in dire situations and they have concerns about their sons. He targets them for financial and sexual exploitation. And Kim Ringo was one of the people he exploited for sexual exploitation, right? But she showed text messages. It was wild. I probably a handful of times I've shown that over the years. It's a little too much for me. It will be in a documentary though. I will say that. Yeah. All right. Thanks, big man. CJ says, Ali, Umar is doing us a favor. Anyone with low enough standards to have him as a leader or lover is probably someone who should steer clear you should steer clear of. Yeah. The other thing though too is that Umar, he's a master manipulator. Just like with the Epstein files, one of the things that's fascinating is that there are people who are named in Epstein file that people in general society have looked up to and seen as great leaders or politicians or even musicians, because there's some names. And I said, man, I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised by that. It's just that many people, they craft these personas online, and Umar, he's done that. He's done that. A lot of women believe that he cares about women. He don't care about women. You're a resource. There's a lot of people who think he cares about children. He don't even take care. He don't care about you. He don't take care of his own kids. He got at least 3 baby mamas. At least just in Philadelphia alone, and the 4th woman tried to put him on child support. He out there living reckless. He's a Rolling Stone. He's sexually promiscuous. He don't have no love. He ain't married not one of y'all. Some of y'all, listen, real talk. Some of y'all believe you're in some sort of a relationship with Umar and you're exclusive. No, you're not. Cut it out. As many women that come forward to talk about Umar with his sexual exploits, cut it out. But see, what Umar has done is he's crafted this persona, and there's people who believe these things, that he's this great man and he cares about black people. He don't care about black. He don't care about his own mama. What you talking about? He care about women. He don't care about his own mama. He don't even take care of his own kids. So what has happened is there are people, and listen, some of these people are genuinely good people, but what happened is they believed in the illusion. Umar is all about smoke and mirrors. FDMG is about smoke and mirrors. It's about the illusion of progress. I've been saying that for years. I got that from a documentary. It's an old documentary on Marcus Garvey. It's in 480. It was recorded on VHS tape. That's how old it was. And they were talking about Marcus Garvey and how he was given the illusion of progress. Well, that's what Umar does with everything. It's about the illusion. And then people are manipulated. He's a master manipulator. They believe in him for no good reason. The receipts show he's not someone that you should trust or believe in. That's why the sister Blue, who said that Umar stole her identity and stole her car, she ended up being homeless. She talked about that. He's not who he says he is. But isn't that what a lot of these black women that's dealt with Umar intimately, that they've said? And more people are going to come out too. I guarantee it. I told you Umar last year in 2025, that was the beginning. Didn't I say they hit the 1? There will be more. I'm talking about who come out and speak. Not just the ones who email me or I've talked to. I'm talking about the ones who come online and tell the business. All right. Thanks, CJ. Miranda sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much, Miranda. I appreciate it. Ms. Honey says, Lenon, do you think Umar is into men? Yes, I think so. I think he's bisexual. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter to me. See, it's not about any type of intimate connection with any human being for Umar. It's just about his sexual needs. He's a sexual deviant. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. See, I have it in the next segment of the documentary. He was using his speaking platforms to, at that time, to groom black women for sexual exploitation. 2011. He's been at this for a very long time, but he was exploiting women sexually when he was in college. That's how he impregnated the first woman. She was an undergraduate. He was a graduate. He's supposed to be the one taking, keeping the younger undergraduates safe, not Umar. So the point I'm making is that his sexual orientation is not the focus of my research. It's not the focus of my reporting on Umar. I think he's bisexual. Whoop-de-doo. I think what's relevant is that he spent so much time trashing the LGBT community and talking all kinds of saying horrible things about gay people. And yet, based upon Room 130 and him having this metrosexual male come to his hotel room after 2 a.m. to wash his hair and scrub and wash his hair and what do they call that? Condition his hair and scrub his hair at 2 a.m. But they wrapped up the thing at 2 a.m. Mary Ann said they probably got there about 2:45 a.m. and then didn't leave until like, I don't know, 9 or something like that. And he stayed the night. And Umar says he slept on the couch. There is no couch in there. So where did he sleep? He slept in the bed with Umar. And that's it. And that's fine. Whatever else happened, listen, that's their business. That's okay. All right. But Umar spends so much time trashing people in the LGBTQ, and then he had a nerve to call me gay. No, homeboy, you at bare minimum, you're bisexual, Umar. Okay, and that's okay. Get over it. Come on out, be who you are, and just live your life. That's all I'm saying. Just live your life. But don't go on this decades of disrespecting people who are gay and lesbian, all this other stuff, and then try to weaponize homosexuality against heterosexual men. That's what he tried to do with me. No. So that's why I have a right to be petty on this. I do. Because for over a half a decade, this guy been calling me gay. Okay, I'm the least gay guy you guys will ever meet because women, I'm sorry. Y'all look too, I apologize. Let me stop myself. But the point is, I could be a little petty, and I have the right to. See, but Umar, that's you projecting all your own little issues, homeboy. Okay, I think he's bisexual. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Let's move on. Thank you, Ms. Honey. Enterprise says him trying to finish these buildings is a joke. He's in panic mode. I agree. He's in panic mode because the lies are not working anymore. His donors are calling for results now. Yeah, that's the other thing. Good point, that the lies aren't working anymore. Not like they used to. Because he can lie about all kinds of stuff. There are going to be people that's going to be like, yeah, I believe in him. Because that's what he's done this over and over again. He's coming up to 70-year anniversary. He's been at this for a long time, acquiring these abandoned buildings. Those are people they haven't been around long enough. They haven't done the research. They haven't seen the criticism, right? They haven't asked the critical questions. I'm talking about legitimate criticism, not people making up shit about Umar or spinning false narratives. I don't do that, right? The point is that the people who are going to buy into this, these are people, they just either they haven't been around long enough to be hip to the game, or they just don't have the mental capacity to recognize what's going on. No disrespect to those people. No disrespect whatsoever, right? They don't have the critical thinking skills, right? So at this point, for the vast majority of the people who used to follow Umar, in particular with this FDMG school scam, him lying about things, it just doesn't work anymore because they've heard him lie over and over again. When I showed you guys all the different grand opening dates, those are all lies that Umar told. It was going to open in 2013, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 26. Now he's saying 2027. That's all lies. When Umar stated that the renovations were completed in August 11th of 2023, that was a lie. Umar, I'm going to assume he's going to say that renovations are complete in the video that we watched today. Listen, I'll say it right now. That's a lie too. Because I guarantee you, he ain't got IT infrastructure in place yet. I guarantee it. Does he show that? Okay, maybe he shows it. We're going to see. We're going to see. Anyway, good point. These days, the lies don't work like they used to unless we have people who simply don't have the mental capacity, and no disrespect, or and they don't have the critical thinking skills, or they're newer to this. They haven't seen the receipts. They haven't seen the evidence. Okay. Thank you, Enterprise. Okay, almost to the bottom. Lenon, you saying Jose didn't file the paperwork? No, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, for the record, Jose ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Okay, Jose ain't never done nothing to nobody. He ain't been in no jail. He ain't even been arrested. Okay, He pay his child support. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I done said too much. Right? Don't put Brother Jose in this. Thank you for the super chat. Enterprise says he's spending money on men's insurance. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. Why you put men's? Men's in Michigan. Let me get out this chat room. I already looked over this on chat room. Thanks to the prize. How's it going, guys? Umar Daddy, a bugaboo. He sure is. Yeah, but he went incognito. He took all his social media down and everything after what happened with Umar Johnson's daughter. And yeah, I remember he got on to I have it downloaded, but I haven't watched the video yet. But he got on to Dempsey Spears' YouTube page and was talking reckless. Okay, I know he was talking reckless. People told me. And then not too long after that, he takes everything down. Okay, so he's not as much of a bugaboo as he used to be. But yeah, he was a serious bugaboo. He sure was. And she's Gospel Princess is talking about Jamal Johnson. I have a short segment in the documentary that talks about him. It's called Origins. Right. Thanks, God, Little Princess, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And then K is my name says, when the residence of occupancy fails or the certificate of occupancy fails, will the information be available to the public so we can see the exact reasons why it failed, so he can claim it was because of racism? Now I've researched this, and based on my research, it doesn't become public record. It doesn't become public record when the certificate of occupancy is filed. It doesn't become public record what the outcome is or the reasons for it. Now, I could be wrong because I did some research on this maybe about a month ago. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Okay. Anyone want to take some time when you have some time to verify that? I researched it, and no, it doesn't become public record. Just like when Umar stated that, yeah, he stated that, maybe I'm getting confused though, because he stated that he was audited by the IRS. When I researched that doesn't become a public record. The audit, or not from the IRS, or the results of the audit. Yeah, but I think I did. I looked this up too for the certificate of occupancy. I don't think it becomes, based on my research, I'll have to do more though too, just to verify that. I don't think it becomes public record. So if it doesn't, Umar, he would know that, and so that's why when I talk about it, I said it's actually possible that he'll say that he put in for it, but he actually doesn't, because that's how Umar is. He's that shady, and then he'll go on this whole thing. He's I put it in where he really didn't, and they denied it. And it's racism. We need to raise money because I want to take them to court. Because he said this in the fish tank video last year. You guys remember that? He has all this stuff planned out way in advance. He's a con man, right? But luckily, like Enterprise was saying, people aren't falling for these lies anymore. And there will be people who are going to fall for the lie. However he spends this, he's going to spend it, say that he was denied certificate of occupancy and it's racism. So we can't open up the school right now. Or he'll say that it passed, and then we're going to open up the school, and then he does a fake grand opening. From me understanding Umar, it's more likely that he will put in a certificate of occupancy and it be denied, and then he goes publicly tell people, knowing that it's going to be denied anyway, because now he has an excuse. Right? That's what I think Umar will do. Right? We'll have to wait and see. All right. Thanks, K is my name, for the super. I appreciate it. If anyone takes some time to want to research that and see what you find, please do so and let me know. Okay, but based on my research, it doesn't become public record. Okay. Let's get into, thank you for all the super chats, everybody. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get into the main video for today. We're already an hour and 28 minutes in. We'll be back tomorrow to do part 2, and we'll do the next day we'll do part 3, and then I will be going live on Saturday. It'll be a marathon because we have a lot to get in. That's the 7-year anniversary of Umar acquiring these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. So far, we have 1,499 votes for the poll question. Why is Umar Johnson trying to finish renovations after saying that renovations were complete in 2023? 18% said to give the illusion of progress. 14% said fear of donors' class action lawsuit. 2% said Lenon and Cooper said holding him accountable. 66% said all of the above. Make sure you get your vote in during this live stream. And if at any point you enjoyed this show, including those of you who will watch this after the live is archived here on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Okay, we already have 587 likes. Our goal is 500, so we already got there. So let's see if we can run it up to 600. Okay. All right. Without any further ado, let's get to, and I'm hoping that I'm doing this in the appropriate timeline, because Umar posted 4 different videos. I think 3 of them are from his lives. I think he posted another one from someone else who reposted his. I'm not quite sure. Let's see, James, if you're still here, let me know if I'm doing this in the right order. I'm going over to Umar's Instagram now just to check again. Because I want to make sure we go one by one. Okay, so the first one is it looks like he's outside. So we're going to start with that one, with the Captain Crunch mural. All right, here we go. So this is from today, from a few hours ago. Umar gives a grand opening update, if y'all want to call it that. What's up, James? I was about to say how late, and I and Lenon says we're about to get started today, and then says we are an hour into. Okay, all right, it's all good. Salute to you, sir. All right, here we go. Yeah, you breathing heavy. Why he got a little ring on his pinky finger? Here we go. Man, he got a medallion on his. You see, it says Black Children Matter. He don't even take care of his own kids. Boy, this mural's hideous. He got a little medallion on. Oh, it looks like he's putting down salt. We working. See, if he had some sense, he would just go to Home Depot and get one of those salt spreaders. That's what you should do, and just walk down the thing. Goofy. Sniffing.
Peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Tunde.
Yeah, this is all for show.
Oguntade, a.k.a. Nana Payena. Coming to
Oh, he got the gate open. This is the first time I saw the gate open, y'all. That makes me excited. Let's go.
you live and direct from your school, my school, our school, the most honorable.
Yeah, this ain't, first of all, it's not a school, but it ain't mine. Don't put me in that. Anybody in here, if it's your school, hit the 1. Yeah, he ain't got no sense. Umar ain't got no sense. He ain't got no sense. But really, he should get one of them little salt spreaders. You just walk down the sidewalk. Anybody, if this your school, hit the 1. James put 1. You let me get out this chat room. Let's go.
Frederick Douglass. And the right excellent, most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. Happy Black History Month, brothers and sisters. Happy Black History Month, brothers and sisters. We got the Breakfast Club coming up.
Yeah, he did post that he's going to be on the Breakfast Club on the 24th of this month. So that's something else to look forward to here. I wonder if they're going to ask him about how much money he's raised. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to see.
We got the Breakfast Club coming up.
Yeah, what he's setting this up for is to where he goes on a Breakfast Club and he says that renovations are all complete and that the school is ready to open. We're just waiting on the certificate of occupancy. Or he will say, we put in a certificate of occupancy, but it was denied. So that becomes a big excuse. And he does it on a large platform. And that filters into his audience. And now they have an excuse on a major platform. And then he'll run with that excuse for the next 2 or 3 years. Right?
We got It's Up There podcast coming up.
Yeah, that's Big Loon. Shout out to Big Loon.
We got It's Up There podcast coming up. We got the Grits and Eggs podcast.
Grits and Eggs, okay.
Coming up.
Grits and eggs.
Let me say peace and Pan-Africanism to my African
Here you
continental
go.
brothers and sisters. Let me say peace and Pan-Africanism to
Here
my
we
African
go.
continental brothers and sisters. My Ghanaian Africans.
So Umar dropping animal feed for Chiefs client. All right, big man. All right, big man. So thank you for the super chat. Here we go. It's like the old days. Here we go.
I am a proud citizen of the Republic of Ghana.
So what?
I am a proud citizen of the Republic of Ghana. And I will be in Ghana this August. I will be in Ghana this August.
This month?
So peace and Pan-Africanism to all my Ghanaian brothers and sisters. I want to send a peace and Pan-Africanism to my Nigerian brothers and sisters, my Liberian brothers and sisters, my Senegalese brothers and sisters, my Gambian, my Zambian, my Congolese, my Madagascar, my Cote d'Ivoire, my Benin and Togo, in Sierra Leone Africans, my South Africans, Johannesburg and Cape Town, Soweto, Khayelitsha, Durban, KwaZulu Africans.
Roll call.
Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Angolan and my Mozambique Africans, my Ethiopian, my Somalian, my Eritrean, my Sudanese and South Sudanese Africans, my Nubian Africans, and all of our black-skinned Africans of North Africa trying to maintain the culture around the Arab colonizers. Peace and Pan-Africanism to the black Africans of Morocco and the black Africans of Egypt.
Yeah, but this is all for show. Okay, that's why he's doing this.
And the black Africans of Libya. Peace and Pan-Africanism.
Yeah, it would be better if just to carry the bag of salt, but see, Umar, it's all for show. He has to hold the phone with one hand. You see, that's what I mean. Everything it's about the theatrics with this guy. What's the word again? It's about, I forgot the word again. There's a psychological term for this. You know, like when he was cleaning toilets, he doesn't use two hands. He uses one hand to clean the toilet, or if you want to call it that, but then he used the other hand to hold the phone. You know, I've seen him shovel snow where he's using one hand to shovel snow. Okay, that's what he does. Histrionics, that's what it is. Yeah, thank you so much. It just always slips my mind. I don't know why. It's all performative. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of things he can do, but this is Umar. Okay, this is what he does. What's up, sports fan? I got to make sure I give shout outs to people too. Okay, my cold out of breath Africans, my cold out of breath Africans, my salt throwing Africans, my hold the phone Africans. What I'm talking about, Gotham City Africa. Okay, let me get up out of here. Okay, here we go.
To my European Africans, my Paris Africans, my London Africans, my Dutch Africans, my Scotland Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism too. My Toronto, Canada Africans and my Montreal Africans. What's good, beloved? Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Jamaican Africans and my Haitian Africans,
my Euros,
and my Puerto Rican Africans,
that's crazy,
and my Guadalupean Africans.
There you go.
And my St. Croix, St. Thomas.
How's it going, Miss Monica? Miss Monica says the reason why he's not mentioning the mode is because that's his next excuse. Oh, huh. The reason why he's not mentioning the mode is because that's his next excuse. Fam, we didn't pass inspection is because of mode, and I didn't know. We need another 2 men to remove the mode. Huh. Yeah, that would be diabolical though, because he's known about the mode. I have video evidence of that, and there's people that's gone up there recently to show that. Spammer Tube, Uncle Mo TV, and brother Jay Witt went up there too, from Jay Witt podcast recently. And then of course Enterprise most recently went up there. Yeah, that would be a flagrant move on Umar's part. It's diabolical, but I could see that as a possibility. You know, what we need to do at some point is put up a poll on what y'all think is the most likely excuse that Umar is going to give, and this could be one of them. This could be one of them. But that, I mean, that would be diabolical if he said that. It would be. But if he said that, he can justify millions of dollars just to get the mold removed. He could justify with that. Yeah, man. I have to start putting together a list on this. Yeah, we won't do the poll this live stream. Yeah, we got a lot of work ahead of us, y'all, over the next week or so. So mold remediation excuse. And then let's say that translates to $2 million. I didn't even think of this one. That's one. So this is under the banner of certificate of occupancy denied. Yeah, but then it would also be if it's accepted, because he could spin it that way too. Said it was accepted, but we didn't get enough people to sign up. I mean, there's all kinds of things, but this is going to be one of the possible excuses right here. It's under the certificate of occupancy was denied, but there I'm sure that there's other possibilities. At some point, we'll put together a list of possible scenarios that Umar may play out. This would be flagrant, though. I mean, the audacity for again, it's Umar, but this right here, that I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but I'll be like, damn, the nerve of this guy, because we've been talking about the molds going all the way back to 2019. Yeah, this would be a diabolical. We're gonna have to wait and see, but we'll have to put together a poll to see what you guys think is the most likely. Because the point is that no matter what, Umar, he's gonna come up with some sort of an excuse, because that's guaranteed. What would that excuse be? That would be the poll question. Yeah, this is fascinating. I didn't even think about this, because we've been talking about the mold a lot more recently, but this never came to mind. It's man, I'm telling you, boy, we have a lot of work ahead of us. That's all I can say. Thank you, Mrs. Monica, for the super chat. Also, did you really get one of those made, or is that just AI? I'm just asking. Because we know we have different characters that we can pull up. Shout out to Kogo and Black Mario. Okay, thanks, Mrs. Monica. This is really good. I haven't thought about that. I'm a little perplexed too, thinking about it. Thank you for super chat. Big Man says my Kodiak bear, my Kodiak bear ninjas. Okay. All right, thanks, Big Man. He's still yet to show this week. Yeah, he says we, but there is no. It's just Umar, right? He's been doing this for I don't know how long. My team and me and my team and IIPA and all this other stuff. It's all a figment of his imagination. There's Umar. Ms. Mounts also says, notice Umar doesn't talk about mold, but he knows about it. Maybe he's going to pay off the state of Delaware to pass inspection. Yeah, the thing is that there's, in order to pass inspections, it's not like it's just Delaware. Like someone was explaining earlier, there's different departments, if that's the right word. And I'm probably not using the right word because this is not my field. I haven't done enough research on the different branches. So someone had mentioned, like, okay, the fire department, there's going to be inspections for people who just a quality assurance for, let's say, they'll be looking at air quality, water quality, that type of thing. There are going to be people who come out to inspect the gas lines. They're going to the plumbing. They're going to come to inspect the ceiling. Whatever's going on inside. They're going to be checking the electrical, right? So there's these different departments, if I can use the term, that are going to have to come out to inspect all these different things in order for Umar to pass. In fact, from what I remember, there's things that he has to do before he actually applies for a certificate of occupancy. We're going to do a show on this, okay? What is needed? Because I've already done some of the research needed to pass inspection, certificate of occupancy, more specifically, certificate of occupancy in Wilmington, and specifically for a building that is zoned as light industrial. And last time I checked, it was still light industrial. We can also look up what's the other one? Residential, light industrial, and it's just slipped my mind. Commerce, there's something to that effect. I can't remember. Commercial. All right, so we'll have to do a show on this particularly. So we can outline all this. So the thing is that Umar, it's not just with the city of Delaware, specifically with the certificate of occupancy. That's one department that's going to be a part of this. There's all these other departments. I know I'm not using the right word, but all these other departments that's going to have to be looking into whether or not these buildings are ready, right? If that makes sense to people, right? Anyway, this is going to be fascinating to see. Okay, we're going to have to wait and see how this all plays out. We got a lot of work ahead of us, everybody. Okay, shout out to Cooper. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Thanks everyone who's been rolling with this whole Umar Johnson saga. Some of you guys are newer. A lot of you guys were here from many, many years ago. Shout out to everybody. Okay, I think 2025 was something to behold, and then 2026 already is showing is proven to be something extraordinary. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. We got about 1,800 people. We ain't done these numbers in a long time. My goodness gracious. Shout out to everyone inside the Cook Crush chat. 1,800 people. Wow, that's awesome. We have 671 likes too. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit that like button. Only take about 2 seconds, but it helps with getting this out into the algorithm. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shmonica, for the super chat. Mr. Wales says, I was blocked for saying that his school is actually an abandoned building on its Instagram. He's hiding the truth. Yeah. But the thing is, Mr. Wells, is legally speaking, they are abandoned buildings. They're on the vacant property list. Umar hasn't resolved that either. They're on because there's things that he has to do to get them off of the vacant property list. So that's another thing. What needs to be done to get buildings off of vacant property list? And again, I really should be typing this out, but what I find is that the way my mind works, when I write things out like this, like questions like this, it sticks in my mind better. And then I'll type it out. Yeah, Umar, he knows that these buildings are vacant. They're abandoned. They've been vacant and abandoned for over a decade. And I'll show you guys right now with my timeline right here. Man, it's incredible how long this has been going on. Let me do a screen share. And we're taking our time. We're going to be taking our time over the next couple of days, the next week or so, because we got a lot to get into. Normally, I try to get through stuff as quickly as possible, even though we never do. But in this case, we're going to be taking our time. Let me do one thing, because I do not want y'all to see. Okay, I just have to make it smaller, because I have some information on his child support and the baby mama's name, the kid's name, birthdays, and all that stuff. I don't want to share that, and I will not be sharing that publicly with anyone. So I just want to make sure before I show this on the screen. Okay. And it's for cybersecurity reasons. Yeah, here we go right here. I'll do this real quick. So if you look at this timeline of Mr. Wells, and many of you guys have already seen this, this is the primary timeline that I'm using for and actually, you know what? Let me get this off. No, I'm sorry. Okay. This is the main time that I use for the documentary. Okay, a lot of stuff is not on here, but this is what I'm using, just kind of like as the fundamentals. Okay, I have more expansive ones too. This one is a little bit more expansive. This is Umar when he's born in 1974. Okay, it tracks his early days, name change, when his mama, when Jamal marries his mama, junior high schools, when he was told that he was related to Frederick Douglass. That's when in 1985, when he was 11 years old in the 6th grade. And then, of course, he was shipped off to Scotland School for Veterans Children at the age of around 13, because I've heard him say 13 or 1990, or around 1987 and 1998. I'm going to go with 1987. And then he's there from 1987. He graduates in 1991, and then he goes off to college in 1992 at Millersville University. Okay, fast forward. He starts at 1992 at the age of 18, Millersville University. This is an article was written. Basically, Umar snitched on somebody. Not to be like that, but he did. Hit the one. He snitched. Umar described and positively identified suspect wanted for the robbery of the bank at Lancaster County branch at 25 North Duke Street on October 2nd. The suspect later confessed to the robbery, and others committed several weeks later. Now that's your boy, all right? Anyway, that's in the documentary. He starts in the Garvey movement around 21. That's what he says, but he's given different dates on this too. You can't trust anything. Anyway, let's fast forward. The Maurice J. Moyer, it opens initially in 2006, and then it closes in 2012. You guys see this? Excuse me. It closes in 2010. It opens in 2006. It closes in 2010. It opens in 2006, and this was not the actual school buildings that we know today. These are buildings. They were modulars. And then in 2008, that's when they actually moved to these abandoned buildings that we know as FDMG today. These abandoned. And then it closes in 2010, and then it reopens in 2011, and then it closes again in 2015. So the point that I want to make is that these buildings have been abandoned since 2015. We're in 2026. It's been over a decade, and not one black child has been educated. All right. Okay. So yeah, when you say that the schools are abandoned, yeah, they are. They have been for over a decade now. Right? Thanks, Mr. Wells. What's up, Black Morris? Says he would just blame the black mold removal company for not doing their job. He would just blame the black mold removing company for not. Yeah. So this ties to what Mistress Monica was saying. Yeah, I think that would probably be a more likely outcome, that he would just blame the black mold company, if it's a black mold company, that does. Either way, he's still blaming it, right? He says that, they didn't do the job right, or they scammed him or something like that. So this ties to what I'm sorry, I just said her name. Mistress Monica. Yeah, what she was saying right here, right? So that's possible, right? That's possible. The truth is, years ago, I told people that Umar's going to blame black people in the end. I told people a long time ago. I told people this. He hit the one, and that's what he does. He blames black people. He praises the white people comes to do the work, but then he shades the black people. Then at one point he was talking about how he was going to get the Latinos to come up there. That's where we get the brother Jose. Then he said that they were scamming him and they was stealing stuff. Brother Jose ain't stole nothing. He ain't like that. Yeah, he got a couple baby mamas, but he pays child support. He in his kids' lives too. He teach them how. The Latinos, they teach their kids how to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? They be having their kids mowing the lawn at 2. Stop! I'm gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They teach them. They teach them that shit early age. Anyway, well, I'm gonna get in trouble. So this ties to this right here. Yeah, if he goes that route, I can see him doing that. He says the black mold removal company. They don't. Okay. Thanks, Black Mario. Well, I tell you, the Solid Slug says once the last plate of Umar's plot armor breaks away and it's all out in the open, do you think he will flee to Africa to avoid prosecution? I don't see him sticking around to get arrested. Okay, there's people who have proposed this as a possibility for Umar. He ultimately escapes to Africa. Can I see him do that? Yeah. The thing is that if he faces criminal charges and he's convicted, from what I know, that there is an extradition. I think that's what you call it. I apologize. Extradition treaty with Ghana. He has Ghanaian citizenship, but he can go to a different African country. Could I see Umar doing that? I could see him doing that. Not right now, though. Not right now. I think that's a little bit later on down the line. And the reason why is because the enmeshment issues with his mama. And he has to continue running this school scam. And he can't run a school scam in Delaware while he's over in Africa. I'm talking about if he just, he goes over there and stays over there. He can't, it just won't work. Right? It won't, that right there wouldn't compute even to his most ardent supporters. They're going to be like, no, this is, and I've been telling people it's a scam anyway. I don't know how long I've been there. It's been a long time. So he can't do that right now. Could he do it later? Yeah. That may be his plan anyway. See, part of what Umar wanted to do was he wanted to have a cult over there in Africa. Hit the one. I can pull up the video and show you guys. He was trying to scam his loyal donors at his birthday party, get money out of them, so that he can purchase land over there, and he's going to be the chief, and he's running things. He wanted one of them a coat over in Africa somewhere where he can do the freak off, the black conscious freak off. That's what he wanted. Y'all want to play the receipt? See, because he was already doing the safari freak offs in Africa before with his harem. He take him over there, and it was P. Diddy. You know, that's what it is. That's what he's sexual deviant. I've been telling people. Y'all gonna see in this next segment of the documentary. That's what he wanted. He wanted him just a coat over in Africa where he's the chief and he's running everything. Everybody do what he want them to do. Just like Nature Boy. Y'all need me to pull it up at the one. I'm taking my time this month. You want me to play it? All right. Give me 1 second. This was in 2019, I believe. Let me get into my 2019 folder. Man, we have so much work ahead of us, but it's all good. Shout out to Good Course Chat. We're gonna go to Umar birthday. This is from August 17th of 2019. His birthday's on the 21st. This watch this.
Wish you a happy birthday.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody.
Well, thank you.
It's been an honor to be with y'all all year long.
Yes, sir.
The year went too fast, but I got to know you all very well on a personal level, and it was great. I'll cherish this year. It was a very challenging year for me personally, but the class really gave me something to look forward to. It pulled me through the tough times, and of course the acquisition of the school was a blessing as well. And thank you to all of you. And it's not the end.
We'll tip the grip.
It's not the end. I just got to take some time to regroup a little bit and plot our next step.
Yes, sir.
But to let you guys know, one of my immediate thoughts, and this is not etched in stone, it's just a thought. But while I was in Africa, Hanera was there with us as well.
Hanera is big into this scam deep, y'all. I try to give her the benefit of the doubt because she seemed like a sweet person, but no, she's diabolical too. And I have to say it because I can only tell you all the truth. She's diabolical.
We came across a chief, traditional ruler, and they have a program where they're trying to give away 5,000 free acres of land. But of course, you have to pay for the processing of the land, the surveying of the land, so forth and so on. So I'm looking at purchasing several acres for the FDMG Africa campus. And I'm looking at having a select group of brothers and sisters who I trust.
See, select group that I trust. That's the grooming. The video that I talked about in 2011, that's going to be the next segment of the documentary. Everyone who's a member, remember that word trust, because that's what groomers do. They try to build trust. They'll use the term trust so they can gain your trust and build your trust. And then what they do is they just push the envelope slowly but surely. In this case, what Umar is doing, he's pushing, and keep that word in mind too, envelope. He's pushing the financial envelope a little bit further and further. These are people who are already his staunch supporters. These are the people who tipped the grip, Sharon, Pilar, at least back then. These are the people that would go out their way to support Umar, send him money, some of them give up the cooch. I apologize, give up the cookie. Real talk, give up the cooch. Right. But then they also participated in this Pan African study group, or whatever it was. Right. So this is all part of Umar. This is his inner circle at that time. A lot of these people aren't around anymore. But what he's doing is he's pushing the financial envelope. He's introducing something like, we got to get this land in Africa, blah, 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 blah. But he stretched it more and more and more so he can ultimately exploit them. This is the grooming process. And the video from 2011 that I'm covering inside, and I do a full analysis of this video from 2011 because it's one of the most important videos that people can see in terms of Umar's history of exploiting, grooming and exploiting Black women. There's a video where he's talking about, it's called A Message to Black Women, and it's a seminar for sisters only. And what he does is he has a sex envelope or sexual envelope that he continues to push the envelope further and further and further. First, he's talking about certain things really kind of inappropriate for that setting, but he does it anyway. But what he does over time is he just introduces more and more. He pushes the envelope, and then by the time now he's talking sexual deviancy stuff. But why is he doing this? Well, he's grooming them. See, that's what he's doing right here. So, and he uses that word trust. Be very careful with that, especially with these cult leaders, right?
To also match the amount of acres that FDMG purchases. So if FDMG purchases 50, then the other brothers and sisters will purchase the other 50. So we would have.
See that? He's stretching it out even further.
100 total. 50 under the control of the school and the other 50 under the control of our community.
See, 50 under the control of the school, he's under control of the school. And then 50 under the control of the community, who's under control of the community? Listen.
With myself as chief. And
you see how he pushes it? He pushes the financial envelope, again, to exploit them financially and sexually. In the video from 2011, he pushes the sexual envelope to the extreme. It's actually, it's deviant at a certain point, because he's talking about, beating on each other and all, crazy. Anyway, y'all see. Shout out to the members.
So what I think I'm going to be doing is for all of you who are in this class, and then I'm going to look at the 6 different Africa trips that I had, and I'm going to select brothers and sisters who I trust, who accompanied me on.
So again, the trust, this is cult, but also to make them feel special. I'm going to select. Make them feel, oh, I'm a part of it. I'm special, because he's not selecting everybody. Cult.
Those trips, such as Uncle Jeff and others, but I have to look through the list because it's been 6 years, so I don't want to leave nobody out. And so between the class and the brothers and sisters I select from the 6 different tours I've taken, we will make up that village that actually goes forward with the purchase of the land. Now, with you all having been in the course of Pan Africanism this whole year, one of the reasons why I think we're going to continue our group study together is because when we do finally get the community in Africa, I'm going to need to trust some of you to orientate brothers and sisters on the continent to Pan Africanism, to Garveyism, so they can be crystal clear on what it is we stand for, what we live for, what we die for. And the only way you'll be able to do that effectively and accurately is if you know the information. So all of this was not in vain. It was not just about you learning it. It's about your ability to turn around and teach it to other people. So that would be the next phase. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at doing. And that's going to be a very, very serious step. And I have to be able to trust you in order to make that step, because we only get one time to make.
See that? Y'all catching it, hit the one. Trust.
A good first impression in Africa. You don't get a second one. So there can't be no coonology in you, no nigritude, none of that. We got to go over there, with the right frame of mind and with the right energy. So that's what we're looking at. So we got the Delaware Project, obviously Wilmington, and then we got the Africa Project, right? And I need diehard Pan-Africanists to help push the program on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. But I need to announce that within the class, obviously, there's always an outstanding student. And in our class, the one...
Again, to make her feel special, you probably tried to attempt to sexually exploit her.
Person, and all of you did well, but the one person who really stood out in terms of their commitment and their seriousness and their presentation and their study and their academic excellence was Sister Sheila. And so in addition...
Yeah, he probably did this and I know, I guarantee you that Tiff, she was mad, Tiff the Griff.
To the, And so in addition...
Tiff the Griff was like, you bitch. Let me stop.
To the certificates that will be given out to those who pass.
He had certificates. What do you treat these grown adults like they preschool kids? Cut it out, Umar.
That's the class. She will get something special. I don't know what that is yet, but I want to honor her for her academic excellence. I wish she could have been here tonight. Maybe she'll come. We don't know, but it's just been a good time. But I like to go around and just get a few words from.
All right. So this is what I was talking about earlier. I know it's intriguing. This video in and of itself is intriguing, right? Okay, let's move forward here, everybody. Let's see. So thank you, Mr. For the super chat. Black Mario, thank you so much for the super chat. This ties, yeah, this is a good one. I wrote this down too. I'll type it out too. Okay, and I got this one too. Thank you so much. Saint Center says, to all my applesauce buddy cream buddy cream. Remember that Umar said buddy cream. Room 130. All right, thanks Saint Center for being a member for 5 months. New to Diggity says phase 1, 2 ESAs are mandatory baseline steps before any renovations are rebuild, making the cost unavoidable in every scenario. Things needed to get off vacant list is in my email to you. I got you. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll look for it and then I'll put the things together and then I'll make sure that I credit you as well. Okay, thank you so much, New T Dig. I appreciate it. Kadar says he still doesn't have a cafeteria, a website, staff, custodians, desk, supplies, etc. For him to think that he's on the level of any leader is crazy. Yeah. By the way, if people don't know, there is no cafeteria facility in that small building. There is a cafeteria facility on the other side of the street, the abandoned buildings, the ones that the large, what he calls the large school, but he hasn't done anything over there. And furthermore, a lot of the equipment that was in there is no longer in there because it was stolen out of there over the years of being vacant prior to Umar acquiring these abandoned buildings. And potentially since too, because he's talked about how these, anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, there is no FDMG website. Okay. Umar never had an official website for FDMG. The closest thing he had was called UmarJohnsonSchool.com. That's it. But he's never had FDMG.com, like an official website that and really there's specific things that should be on that website. And he could have used that website. Now, I'm not going to get into all that because I can go on and on. He could have maximized on donations, but then also provided a level of transparency that would have really pushed this project forward. But that's very telling in and of itself. Now, staff, faculty, custodian, he does have some desk, right? He does. And supplies in terms of up-to-date supplies, I don't think he has that. One of the biggest things is there's no IT infrastructure. There's none. So what I mean by that is that the systems that need to be put in place, this is not, I'm talking about just for IT, this is not something that Umar can get done in a week. It's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars in the first place, but it's not something he can get done in a week. It's not something he can get done in a month. See, Umar's not even talking about that. Now, in the video that we watch, if he goes inside the abandoned buildings, he goes back to the server room, he opens up the door and everything is set up like it should be because that's part of renovations, then I'll stand corrected. But I can almost guarantee you that has not been done. It's a whole nother separate issue that needs to be addressed with this Umar Johnson saga's IT infrastructure. See, I think with Umar, what he believes is that somehow he's just going to be able to, he does have internet service, he has an ISP, but it's just like basic internet service that hasn't been upgraded either. I highly doubt that he has, I know for a fact he doesn't have bandwidth necessary. He thinks in his mind that, he's going to have everybody, I guess, on Wi-Fi, and there's one Wi-Fi router. Okay, there's something called bottleneck. It's not going to happen. There's no way. These children are going to have Chromebooks. You're going to have all these different teachers and faculty and staff. They're going to have cell phones connected to this network as well, right? All the Chromebooks, all their own personal computer, laptops, all of them, and all of them going to be, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's no way. So that's a whole nother set of circumstances that needs to be resolved with the so-called state-of-the-art school that Umar's been talking about. And yet Umar has not provided any evidence that has been mitigated. And I don't think he has no clue about what needs to go into that. It's crazy. $100,000, easy. And that's just on one side of the street. All right. Thank you, Gadar. I appreciate it. Mold removal is all new sheetrock structure HVAC. Yeah, people have talked about that it's not just that they come in and they spray. In some cases they have to take out drywall. Right. In some cases, they have to gut buildings. They've done this. And, they'll gut everything inside of the building because the mold has spread significantly. And then they have to redo things and patch things up over time. See, Umar hasn't talked about that. And again, see, now that I think about it, Mistress Monica might be right. That may be what Umar uses as an excuse. As more and more people talk about it, Umar might, let's use that as an excuse. It's because of the mold, so we got to get that taken care of, family. We need $2 million. Get on your cash. You can't say cash. Get on your PayPal. We're almost there. We're at the finish. We're dancing on the finish line. This mold was present in 2019. I can pull up and show y'all. Anyway, thanks, Coco. What's up, arrogant pupil? He has no shame. Yeah, he doesn't. He don't have no shame because if he did, he would have stopped this long time ago, and he would have apologized to people a long time ago. He would have, but not Umar. He has no shame, none. Right? You can't do. He's a sociopath too. And he's narcissistic with narcissistic personality traits. You can't do what Umar Johnson has done for all of these decades. And I'm not just talking about the FDMG school scam. I'm talking about all the other crazy shit. And he's hurt a lot of people. He's hurt a lot of people. He's hurt a lot of kids based upon his rhetoric and parents, going with what he says. He's hurt a lot of women that he sexually exploited and financially exploited. He's hurt a lot of people, and he's betrayed a lot of trust in the Black community. Real talk, a lot of trust. Perhaps more than anyone else that I've seen because of his reach. And yet he has no shame. He can still wake up the next day and keep going. Well, he's a sociopath. Real talk. Thanks, arrogant people. Hope you're doing all right. Sister Traveler says, okay, then what he's really going to do is claim that all of your receipts are AI. No. Listen, everything that I show, you guys can find it online. So he can't say that. All the videos. Now, there are some receipts that he's taken down. For instance, he's taken this down right here. Okay, he's taking this down. Okay, but I have shows where we actually went onto his Facebook page and we actually went onto his Facebook page and then went to that actual receipt and showed it live. So no, let's be clear about something. I haven't used any AI. We have had AI videos. Okay, we have. Okay, but that's like for jokes. Kogo, Room 130, Black Mario sent me stuff too. Right. That's separate. That's more for like goofing off. But when we talk about specific receipts dealing with FDMG, no, there's no AI. No, this is all factual, fact-based, so forth and so on. Since you do cybersecurity, despite the fact that they aren't the same. Yeah, well, the thing is, yeah, well, no, I do see your point there. I do see your point there. No, I don't think Umar would do that. I don't think he would do that because there's plenty of other people, who are exposing Umar. But is he going to say that they're creating AI receipts too? No. See, this is one of the things last year when Umar was saying that I hacked his bank account, I could sue him for that. Like, if people don't know, I have a degree in cybersecurity and computer technology. I worked hard for that degree too. What do they call it? Summa cum laude, whatever it is. I think I graduated at 3.98, 3.98 GPA. I was going to go back and take that other class just so that I get a 4.0, but I said that's just being ridiculous. But see, there's other people who, they may not have studied, and they may not know much about AI. Not that I know a lot about it, but I know enough about it. In fact, if there was something I would go for a master's, I would go for AI because there's a sister that she went for her. She emailed me and everything. She went and got an AI master's degree. She set herself up fantastic. Congratulations to her. But there are other people, they're not into tech like that. They haven't studied, they may not have degrees or even certifications for that matter, but they've exposed Umar and they show receipts. So is he going to say that is AI generated too? No, he can't do it. I don't think he would go there. Although he said I hacked his bank account. So who knows? Who knows what kind of crazy shit he comes up with? He lies all the time. He's a pathological liar. All right. Thank you, Sister Traveler, for a super chat. I appreciate it. D Will, whole school going to be using one T-Mobile hospital. Yeah, it'll be a cell phone, one cell phone, right? That's crazy. Everybody got to huddle around it. But there's no way, the bandwidth, there's no way. But Umar, he don't know nothing about that. See, he would have to have ISP come through, and they would have to connect to, they would have to upgrade everything. They would have to upgrade everything. And he has no infrastructure. They call it a backbone. He has no IT infrastructure, network infrastructure. He don't have none of that. All that's gutted. I mean, he got cat cables coming out the walls, and I guarantee you that cat cable is probably cat 4 because it's old. It's been sitting there for a decade. The cable that I use here, I think I got a cat 7, and it's not that I need it. I just got it just in case. I get 1 gigabyte to the box, which is more than enough. But if you got 50, 100, 150, 200 people on that network, what Umar got going on with his wireless router, that's not going to cut it. There's no way. Anyway, we're going to leave it right there. I can go on and on. I've studied this. Thank you, D. Will, for super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah. All right, let's get going here. We got to make some progress on this again. No, I'm serious. I kid you not. I kid you not. If he showed it, it'd probably be Cat 4. See, and we can do the research right now. Let's see. When was Cat 5 Ethernet cable? I should know this cable. Let me see. Mid 1990s and early 2000, peaking in popularity during the internet boom of 1995 to 2001. Well, let me go look at this receipt real quick. The Umar Academy closes in 2015. It initially opens in 2012. No, I shouldn't say that. That's too far. It wouldn't be Cat 5. That's exaggerating. I apologize. It wouldn't be Cat 5. I should do that. I know. I just looked it up. I should have had that memorized. That's me. That's exaggerations right there. I apologize. Someone said Umar, he using MS-DOS. Yeah, he using BASIC. That's what he. Windows 95 was the bomb, though. Real talk. In 98, I love 98 in particular. Let me get off this chat room. Okay, but let me take that back because I don't want to be exaggerated to that extreme. Okay, Umar got Cat 4. Okay, that's too funny though. It's funny. Okay, but I shouldn't do that. Okay, let's get going here. We're gonna go back to the original video. Shout out to Kukaresh. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Make sure you hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. In fact, our goal is to get to 1,000. Okay, we already had 786. We got 1,757 people in the building. We have over 1,800 votes. Why is Umar trying to finish renovations after saying that renovations were complete? 19% said to give the illusion of progress. 14% said fear of donors' class action lawsuit. 2% said Lenon and Kukaresh had holding him accountable. And 65% said all of the above. So make sure you get your vote in. Somebody said AOL. Umar on dial up and shit. He got FDMG Netscape rights to love. No, don't talk bad about don't talk bad about Netscape now. I used to love me some and AOL. Netscape, I love me some Netscape back in the day. All right, anyway, let's keep going here. That's when they used to have like little chat rooms and stuff. And yeah, that's a long time ago. Anyway, let's go. Here we go.
Saint Kitts, St. John Africans. Peace and Pan Africanism to my Dominica Africans.
Dominica?
Oh, yes. Peace and Pan Africanism to my Central and South American Africans, my
he said
Panamanian Africans, my Costa Rica Africans, my Brazilian Africans. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Back then they had forums. You all remember that? Forums? Yeah.
Peace and Pan Africanism to my Australian Africans, my Queensland Africans, and my Sydney Africans. I will be back in Australia, brothers and sisters. I will be back in Australia, brothers and sisters. I will be back in Canada, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I remember Word Perfect.
This is going to be my last year of major touring the.
Wasn't Word Perfect? Wasn't that the precursor to Microsoft Word, right? If memory serves me correctly. Yeah, because recently I watched a documentary on Microsoft, and then they were in heavy competition. I can't remember what it was. Microsoft, they were in heavy competition. Not Dell. Dell wasn't around. What was it? Because my first computer was what was that? It won't come to mind right now. Anyway, let's keep going.
World.
Yeah, I remember Mavis Beacon too. No, not Mac. It was, IBM. Thank you, Holly B. So I apologize. My first computer was an IBM. I think I had like my RAM. I can't remember. It was horrible when I think about it now. But back then, I was thought I was the bomb. But I watched this documentary, the competition between IBM and Microsoft, and how it was fascinating stuff. Really fun, fast. But it was IBM, not Compaq. It was IBM. But I remember Compaq too. My mama had a Compaq back in the day. Okay, here we go.
This is going to be my last year of major touring the world.
Yeah, they did.
Because FDMG is upon us, brothers and sisters. Before this month is in the world, this is going to be my last year of major touring the world.
He said this back in 2019 in the school announcement video, y'all. Hit the one.
This is going to be my last year of major touring the world because FDMG is upon us, brothers and sisters. Before this month is out, brothers and sisters. Before the centennial month of Black history is over with. This February.
Okay, let's pause it because he's about to make the big announcement. Let me show y'all something right quick. This is from 2019. Let me see if I have it actually. I have it in my video thing here. No, this is a different 50. Maybe this is the same. Let me try this one for now. It's just I have two different dates. So I either need to change this in my notes or I need let me cross-reference this real quick, everyone, if you don't mind. Just for research purposes, because I can have this archived properly. Give me one moment. But you see how he said that this is going to be my last year touring? Let me see something here. Okay, what is the date on this? Speaks on. Okay, let's try. No, it might be this one right here, though. Okay, let me just see what's the date on this one. Yeah, this is July 18th, 2000. Okay, let's try this one. We're gonna go to it's just the dates don't line up. Wait a minute, see London. Let me try something. One other thing. Do King. No, this is the right video. Okay, yeah, so let's go with this one. Yeah, here it is right here. And this is from April 6, 2019. I have it listed as June 27th on this video. But okay, so Umar just stated this is going to be the last year. I'll play it once again of him touring.
FDMG is upon us, brothers and sisters. Before this month is out, brothers and sisters. Before the centennial month of Black history is over with. This February, 2026, we will be applying for our certificate of occupancy, brother.
He's going to do it in February, this month? That's crazy. What about all the mode and everything else? It's ridiculous. Anyway, we'll come back to this, but you notice he stated that this is going to be the last year. Let's go back. Let's go to around June 2019.
First, Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando, Florida, back to back. San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, triple threat tour coming up. Oklahoma City and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City and Tulsa, Oklahoma coming up real soon. Macon, Georgia. First time in town. Macon, Georgia. June the 6th. And we're going to try to do Savannah, okay, or Columbus, Georgia. Savannah or Columbus, Georgia. We're going to try to do that right after Macon on June the 7th. I'm trying to hit as many cities as I can this year because this is the last stand. This is Ifa Tunde's last stand because 2020 is FDMG. I won't be able to travel no more. 2020 is FDMG. I won't be able to travel no more. Let me take a few more questions.
Get the one. This is in 2019. But look at what Umar says in 2026 today.
Centennial month of Black history is upon us, brothers and sisters. Back in Canada, brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
this is going to be my last year of major touring the world. This is going to be my last year of major touring the world because FDMG is upon us, brothers and sisters.
Okay, again, he says that today, a couple of hours ago. But if we go back to in and around June of 2019, he says
Georgia. Macon, Georgia. First time in town. Macon, Georgia. June the 6th. And we're going to try to do Savannah, okay, or Columbus, Georgia. Savannah
or Columbus, Georgia. We're going to try to do that right after Macon on June the 7th. I'm trying to hit as many cities as I can this year because this is the last stand. This is Ifa Tunde's last stand because 2020 is FDMG. I won't be able to travel no more.
All right.
2020 is FDMG. I won't be able to travel no more. Let me take a few more questions.
So he says this in 2019, and then he says the same thing in 2026, and he's been traveling in between that time. But that's not the only time. Let's go to April 19th of 2019.
Ohio, on Saturday, April the 27th, I'll be in Cleveland. And anyone can get information for that on my website, drumarjohnson.com, drumarjohnson.com. And I have a few other dates coming up: Cincinnati, Louisville, Nashville, Tennessee, Memphis, Los Angeles, Oakland. This year, 2019, is probably going to be my last year of having a formal speaking schedule. Because in 2010, we hope to have the school ready. And by August the 21st of 2020, which is the centennial of the red, black, and green flag, we want to open up the doors to our young boys for their first year of school. So 2019, this is it for me. This is the culmination of an entire generation, 20 years of public school.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So
I don't know. He said 2010. He meant to say 2020, but that's Umar. He'd be lying. He'd be forgetting dates something when he'd be lying. Yeah, he's not just a liar. He's a lying liar. No, that wasn't AI. This month. All right. That's Barbari. That's Umar. That's what he do. Shout out to Dominique. If he puts as much effort in the buildings as he did to traveling, them buildings would have been absolutely. Very good point. Absolutely. Good point. Okay, let's get back to the main video, y'all. I pulled up the receipts and I showed y'all. All right. This was funny right here. T-Mobile hotspot. Well, that's wild. Shout out to D. Will. Amina says sunk cost fallacy when a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they have invested heavily in it, even when it is clear that abandonment would be more beneficial. Absolutely. I've talked about this in the past with sunk cost fallacy, and we've all fallen victim to that. As an example, there was a time where it wasn't working out for me on YouTube, but I stuck with it, and I should have stopped. It was a sunk cost fallacy. I put so much time into it and so much effort, but I kept going and I kept going. Well, I know nowadays it makes more sense. Like literally, I could, if I wanted to, I could quit my day job. I can even just pick up a part-time job and just do YouTube full-time, and it would be more than enough. It'd be perfect. Right? I shouldn't say perfect, but it would be more than enough in terms of, because I would expand my content. I'll be talking. I would cover sports. I would probably cover aspects like the Epstein files, that kind of stuff, because all that stuff I was talking about when I was in my conspiracy theory days, right? And I could really do that, but there was a time where, I put so much effort into YouTube, it wasn't working for me, but there's a sunk cost fallacy. It would have been in my family's best interest to stop, but I kept going. Okay, and again, hindsight's 2020, because now, it all makes sense now, but back then. So, Amina, we've all done this. Now, check this out. Umar's done this too. He knows that this is not going to happen, but in his mind, he can't abandon this FDMG project, not just because of all of the energy that he's put into it, more so because of the money that it has brought him. But there's still a sunk cost fallacy, because there's one thing that I always tie sunk cost fallacy to is opportunity cost. The amount of focus that Umar's put into the school scam, this time that he could have been doing other things to actually benefit his life and benefit his children's life, benefit his mama's life, benefit his own life. But he hasn't done that. It takes a lot of energy and time to do what Umar Johnson is doing. A lot. I'm talking about to be doing so much wrong in the world and do so much harm in the world. It takes a lot of energy. So on one hand, it's the opportunity cost, because he could be doing good with the time that he's doing bad. Make sense? But then the sunk cost fallacy, when Umar purchased these trap bandos, it was the worst decision that he could have made. But at that time, it was the only decision that he thought that he could make in order to keep this scam going. And here we are almost 7 years later, and it's still going. So we've all done this sunk cost fallacy, including Umar. But you know what? The big losers in all this are the donors, because the donors, they're reluctant, at least some of them at this point. A lot of them, they've already fallen off, but a lot of them are reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action, in this case, donating to Umar Johnson for FDMG, because they've invested heavily in it, even when it's clear that abandoning this FDMG school scam, meaning to discontinue donating to this FDMG school scam and supporting Umar and supporting this FDMG school scam, would be more beneficial to themselves. Hit the one. And we've all done this. It's not logical. It's not rational. It's not even intelligent in some cases. A lot of this is emotion driven. People who gamble, they at a certain point, they're down $400, $500, but you know what? I've already put in 500. I got to keep going. I got to get my money back. I got to keep going. I got to get my money back. And then they hit, and as Umar says, they hit, and they come up on 600. Oh, I done made 100, and they keep gambling. I got to keep going. I already done put it. Okay. And then by the time the night's over with, they're down $1,200. Well, that's donation money. Donors donate, they donate, but there ain't nothing. Not one black child been educated. This is the sunk cost fallacy. It's not rational thinking. It's not intelligence based. It's not critical thinking. It's emotion driven. Gambling is emotion driven. A lot of people's addictions is emotion driven. We've all been there. Sunk cost fallacy. Thank you. Thank you for posting this. It's huge. And it's tied to opportunity cost too. Because the money that these donors have put towards Umar over the decades, decades. Because this didn't just start in 2014. Real talk. Umar been living off of black people. Listen, I'm gonna leave right there. The point, let me take that back, because I want to be fair. The earliest record that I have of someone stating that they donated to Umar was 2009. However, I have seen people post on different Umar Johnson videos that they donated to Umar for FDMG in 2008 and 2007. Now we're getting close to 20 years, but I'm always fair. Okay, sunk cost fallacy. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat too. We've all fallen victim to this at some point in life. Kobe Beans, shout out to Kobe, says Umar has a very demonic in him. I can see it. Yeah, Umar, he's of the darkness. He's the dark side. He really is. You can really see it when he crashes out. You can see it. And even in the video in 2011, you can see there's times where he wants to rage because he's talking about things, but he holds himself back because he's doing this for sisters only seminar called A Message to Black Women. Like a message to the black man. Here Umar go. But all he's doing is grooming. But there are things where you can tell he has deep-seated hatred. It's demonic in essence. When you see him rage against Zora, that's demonic. When you see Umar raging against Sister Lene with the fish tank video, that's demonic. That's not normal human behavior. There's some deep-seated darkness in Umar. And I think that it's been there for a very long time. A very long time. I believe, okay, now I'm speculating, that one of the reasons why Umar was shipped away and no one else was shipped away except Umar was because of that, the darkness in him. See, but he fucked with the wrong one when he tried to intimidate me, because I'm not the one. You can be as dark as you want to, but the darkness always runs from the light. Real talk. Runs like a bitch. Umar, that's you. See? You thought. But here we are. Anyway, I'm gonna leave right there. The wrong one, homeboy. Thank you, Kobe Beans. D. Will says Umar still acting. Umar be on Jeeves. Yeah, that's funny, man. I don't think I ain't been on Jeeves. I don't even know. I'm sure it's still active, but I ain't been on Jeeves. I don't know, in the decades, at least 15 years, maybe 20. No, it's been at least 20. Yeah, at least 20. That's funny, D. Well, thank you so much for the chat. Joshua Pro says, how can Umar have so many degrees and have such limited knowledge of infrastructure? It just doesn't add up. Well, the thing is that Umar spent roughly 20 years pursuing different degrees and certifications, 20 years. But that doesn't mean that Umar had practical experience in doing what he claims that he's doing now. So this is one of the big disconnects I think that even Umar Johnson followers have. When Umar does the video in 2014, when he's up there at these events, when he's at the St. Paul's College, it's just him. Umar has no history of building anything. Umar has no history of educating children, black boys or black girls for that matter. Umar has no history of knowing about infrastructure and how to build it. He talks a lot about it, though. You guys listen to Umar, he said, we need infrastructure. You know, we need this. We need hospitals. We need banks. But he doesn't know how to do any of that stuff. This guy is homeless. He's been homeless since 2019. See? He's never grown up to where he has to be responsible for anything. He's been living off of black people now since at least 2011. And prior to that, because he gets his side in 2012, prior to that, he's living off the government with student loans. Real talk. Now, I'm not saying if you go get student loans, you're living off the government. What I'm saying is that if you do that shit for 20 fucking years, you're living off of the government. The government. So the point that I'm getting at is that Umar was never put in a position to where he can either figure out or learn how to build infrastructure, or he's never connected to people who could help him in that process. And there have been people who've attempted to help him in that process, including Lord Jamar. He offered his father-in-law to help Umar. He has schools in New York somewhere. I can't remember where exactly. I can't remember. He said Brooklyn or something like that. So what I'm getting at is that Umar knows nothing about infrastructure. I'm going to do this, or I want to do this, or we should, or we can, but he doesn't do. He thinks that because he worked as a school psychologist from 2001 through 2006, that he knows infrastructure. He thinks that because he worked intermittently from 2007 through 2010 as a school psychologist on contract in the charter school system, and then allegedly as a school principal, also alleged as a school counselor. You don't want people to know about that, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. That somehow he knows infrastructure. If you guys go to any of your children, if you have children, go to their school and go talk to the school psychologist and says, do you know about infrastructure? You know how to build a school? You know how to operate a total operation of a school? Do you know what paperwork needs to be filed? Do you know? No, they're going to tell you no, because they specialize specifically in school psychology with the kids. You go to a counselor, you ask them that, they're going to be like, no, they're a school counselor. You even go to the principal. The principal may know some things, but they're not going to know. The principal's main job is to delegate responsibilities, but they don't know how to build a school from the ground up. That's a whole nother field of expertise. Furthermore, from my research, Umar only worked as a school principal for about 3 or 4 months max. That's it. But somehow in his mind, he knows infrastructure. He knows how to build things from the ground up. No, this is a figment of the imagination. Umar's weaponized his limited experience as a school psychologist, his limited experience as a principal and as a counselor, and he's turned it into, I'm Big Papa. I know what I'm doing, and I know how to build a school from the ground up. No, what the receipts show is he's completely inept. He don't know what the fuck he's doing to this day. That's why he said the school's going to open in 2013. We're in 2026. And now he's saying the school going to open in 2027. Out here throwing salt down on ice. On snow. What kind of principle? Let me stop. Anyway, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Furthermore, Umar's never even taught in a classroom. He said he was a school principal. If you're a school principal, it's a requirement that you teach that you're a teacher. I think it's about 3 years in Philadelphia School District. But see what Umar does, he goes to the charter school system because their rules and regulations are a lot more lenient than in the public school system. See? Anyway, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. What's up, Michael? Slow down, Mr. Honor. Umar said the ancestors made the black mold disappear a few months ago, just like magic. So there. Yeah, we're going to see. See, as we get to these videos over the next, we got over 1,800 people. We ain't done these top numbers in a long time. Shout out to Google Chat. as we continue with this over the next couple of days, and then Saturday I'll be doing a marathon. What we're going to look for is if there are any evidence, video evidence, call it forensics, of black mold removal. See, what I think is Umar, he's going to show very little. He's not going to show it. He ain't going to show a lot, but it's just going to be just enough to give what? The illusion of progress. Furthermore, let's be clear about something. Okay, and I'm saying this to everybody. Faith without works is dead. See, a lot of what Umar, and this is a good point, Michael, a lot of what Umar does is he plays on people's faith. Because sometimes he'll say Lord, then he say Shango, and then he'll, he all over the place with it. But that's because he's a chameleon. He'll use whatever he can to manipulate. But I want people to understand, this is not an issue of God. Real talk. Hear me on this. That's how diabolical Umar is. This FDMG school scam is not of God, and it is not about God. So faith ain't got shit to do with it. I don't mean to say it that way. I apologize. But real talk, it ain't got nothing to do with it. See, Umar can pray his ass off from now until eternity to get these shits up and running. I apologize for the language. But faith without works is dead. He's lazy. He doesn't get things done. He doesn't work. He say we working, and don't think because he's throwing salt down on some snow that that's going to magically make this thing appear. See, Umar largely operates from faith. But his faith is not in the light. His faith is in the dark. That's why he can do what he's doing and do it for decades now and have no remorse. Hear me on this, y'all. And I don't mean to be talking like this, but no, this ain't got nothing to do with somebody's ancestors. This ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. This ain't got nothing to do with no angels. This ain't got nothing to do with no prayer. This has to do with the darkness in Umar. And it don't matter what Umar say that's quote unquote spiritual or what he does that's quote unquote spiritual. It's not going to materialize anything of consequence except doom and gloom and more darkness. Real talk. So anyway, Umar can say, hey, listen, the ancestors, God willing, and all this kind of stuff. No, this ain't got nothing to do with the Lord. Ain't got nothing to do with none of that. This is a human being who is extremely dark in nature, who has ravaged and pillaged the black community for decades, who has created all types of chaos and division amongst black people, who has sexually exploited and financially exploited black people all around the world for decades. This is someone who doesn't even take care of his own children, who's living off of his mama in Section 8 housing at the age of 51. That ain't got nothing to do with the light in the Lord. Real talk. So Umar, you can talk all this talk about the ancestors and this and that, but at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. And that's why here we are in February of 2026, and you still at it. And I'm gonna leave right there. I apologize. I got blowed off. Thank you, Michael. See, in real talk, if Umar could pray this into existence, he would have done it by now. But faith without works is dead. If Umar could talk to his ancestors to make this pop off, it would have already popped off. Real talk. And Shango and Medu Netter and Mayat and all this other stuff, if it would have already come into fruition. Ain't got nothing to do with none of that. It's the darkness in Umar. That's why things are where they are at today. And more people are waking up. Thank the Lord. Let's go. Thank you, Michael. Ms. Merkel says, Umar and his Goonies, a devil taking on human form. This is another thing. If you guys look at Umar in terms of what he has done, especially or attempted to do with his critics, and talking about Goonie Goons and his pull-up team, that's not of the light. That's the darkness. I don't mean to be talking like this because I try to stay off of this, but this is just real talk today. All right, real talk. See, you look at how Umar has attempted to intimidate people, talking about the fish tank and women's vajayjay and all this kind of stuff. That's not of the light. You look at how he did his own daughter. That's not of the light. See, Umar, he's into that dark, real talk, he's into the darkness, and that's what he is. That's who he is. It's not just, people say, oh, well, who's Umar? It's what he is, too. Anyway, thank you, Ms. Vernon. Because see, the thing about me, and I'm not here, this is not to be boastful, is I don't fear shit like that. I just don't. Okay, I've seen enough in my life not to be fearful of that. Talking about the darkness, I'm not fearful of that. Not even of death. Like I said before, I've said in the past, what I worry about is that if I wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to be here for my wife and my kids. That's what concerns me. See, but the darkness, no, I don't fear that. I just don't have fear like that. Now, alligators, yeah, and crocodiles, yeah, cheetahs, and yeah, that's another thing. Right? Anyway, thank you, Miss Vernica. Yana says, I'm going to go to the airport to Ohio tomorrow morning. You need to take this ninja down. See you on Saturday. You go to the airport to, what are you going to Ohio for? Okay, Giannis. Thank you for being a member for 10 months. Miss Vernica also says, it takes someone extremely desperate and immature to go to the extreme that Umar has gone to, so loud and pompous, dying for someone to give to them. Yeah, that's part of the narcissism. And he's very pompous with his behavior. He's very boastful. He's arrogant. That's a big thing with Umar. But see, that's all the darkness. No humility whatsoever. None. That's Umar. And that was a time I lacked humility too. But I've been humbled. Lord humbled me. Right. And I've been working on that. Stay humble, because the Lord give it, the Lord take it. Okay. We have one for live stream. Okay. Yeah. But stay humble. Right. But not Umar. That's part of his downfall too. That ego is huge. Arrogance is huge. It's off the chart. See? And it has been for a very long time. In that 2005 United Resignation letter, he called himself the modern day Malcolm X. He's out there. He's out there. Yeah. And it's true. He's extremely desperate. A lot of, and Lene talked about this. Shout out to Sister Lene. She talked about how a lot of what Umar does, he does it for attention. He wants people to praise him. That's the narcissism. He wants people to acknowledge him as something great. Well, that's the narcissism. So a lot of what he does is precisely to cause people to do that for him. He wants to be praised. He wants adoration. That's the narcissism. He lacks humility, right? And you can't expect to put together a project, even though you got millions of dollars, of this scale and of this magnitude, if you don't have humility. And if you think that you are the Black Christ, you are the Black Messiah. Recently, he said, we was watching the video. I can't remember which video it was. He said that he's the chosen one. Then he said something else. I can't remember what it was. That's the first time I heard him say that. He's a prophet. He said something like he's the prophet of God. Hit the one. Y'all remember that? What video was that? So, what can you say to someone like that? Right? Over the top. Thanks, Ms. Vernica. And then Black Wolf says, Umar knows like the Bo Jackson commercial from back in the day. Yeah. So any research of the cost of mold removal for buildings that size. There's people who put together figures and stuff. The thing is that I would only be able to go based upon an actual analysis for those specific buildings. All right. What's clear is that there are serious mold issues on the exterior and on the interior, and that has to be resolved. That should have been the first thing that Umar Johnson took care of. And the thing is that he's held on to these abandoned buildings for the last almost 7 years. It'd be 7 years in a couple of days. And the mold situation has gotten progressively worse. And one of the reasons why is because he didn't nip it in the bud earlier. And so it's continued to spread. So who knows how much it's going to cost? Probably millions of dollars. Okay, because we're talking about 3 structures. The larger building, and it's not just on the smaller buildings. It's not just on the exterior. It's also on the interior too. So it's actually possible that what needs to take place is with the mold remediation is for drywall to be taken out. In other words, for these buildings to be gutted. Okay, millions of dollars easily. Okay, we're gonna have to wait and see though. We're gonna have to wait and see. And again, it's possible. What he's gonna do is he's gonna say the reason why he didn't get certificate because the people with the mold, the black mold company. See, we're gonna see. That was a great suggestion right there. I hadn't thought about that. Shout out to Black Wolf. Thank you so much. Kobe became a member. Shout out to Kobe Bean Bryant. What's up? Brother Malik says, no mold removal vandals will remain Period. Yeah. So far, we haven't seen it, but again, he may show something. He hasn't mentioned it yet, and I have never heard Umar even speak about this particular issue. It's one of the most important issues to speak about. Right? Again, he may use this as the ultimate excuse. We don't see. Shout out to Brother Malik. And then Saul says, donating my grits money to the cookers. Hey, well, next time make it $4. All right. Thank you. Thank you. No, keep the grit money, Si. I ain't gonna do you like that. All right, thank you. Thanks for all the super chat. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Okay, and how are we doing on time? We got a little more time. We'll probably go for another 30 minutes, and then we'll do part 2 tomorrow. All right. Let's get back to the main video. Shout out to everyone inside the Cook Crush chat. Here we go.
Before this month is out, brothers and sisters. Last year of major touring the world.
Yeah, and I gotta go use the bathroom, everybody, if you don't mind. My wife made tacos too. She probably texted me because she told me. I said I'm gonna wait. I'll eat afterwards. But let me go use this bathroom. I apologize. I'll be right back.
I will be back in Australia, brothers and sisters. I will be back in Australia, brothers and sisters. I will be back in Canada, brothers and sisters. This is going to be my last year of major touring the world. This is going to be my last year of major touring the world because FDMG is upon us, brothers and sisters. Before this month is out, brothers and sisters, before the centennial month of Black History is over with, this February 2026, we will be applying for our certificate of occupancy, brothers and sisters. That's right. It's time for the final inspections. It's time for the final inspections of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. It is time for the final building inspections, brothers and sisters. We are here. The time has come. Yes, brothers and sisters. I'm going to get me some Where to School At t-shirts, since that's what the haters who don't build institutions keep asking. Where to school at? I'm going to get some Where to School At t-shirts. I'm going to get some Where to School At t-shirts, brothers and sisters. Where are my FDMG donors at? Make some noise. Where are my FDMG donors at? Make some noise. Where are my FDMG donors at? Make some noise. Who been standing with us since 2014 when we took the first donation in St. Louis? Who been standing with us since 2014 when we took the first donation in St. Louis? Who been standing with us since 2015? Who been standing with us since 2016? Who been standing with us since 2017? Who been standing with us since 2018?
Okay, I'm back, everyone. If you guys don't mind, I just want to rewind just a little bit because I want to hear what he said. And then I want to pull something else up too real quick. Hold on. Here we go.
FDMG donors at, make some noise. Has come. It's time for the final inspections.
Okay, final inspections.
This February 2026, we will be applying for our certificate of occupancy, brothers and sisters. That's right. It's time for
this month. That's crazy. I mean, he's already lined this up. He knows he's not going to, if he actually puts it in, he's not going to pass. He knows that.
For the final inspections. It's time for the final inspections of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. It is time for the final building inspections, brothers and sisters. We are here. The time has come. Yes, brothers and sisters. I'm going to get me some Where to School At t-shirts, since that's what the haters who...
Yeah, maybe we need to do that. I don't want to be petty, but maybe that's what we need to do.
Don't build institutions keep asking.
Umar, you haven't built anything either. Cut it out.
Where to school at? I'm going to get some Where to School At t-shirts.
A school is a place of learning. We haven't taught one black child, Umar, in all these years. Cut it out.
I'm going to get some Where to School At t-shirts, brothers and sisters. Where are my FDMG donors at? Make some noise. Where are my FDMG donors at? Make some noise. Where are my FDMG donors at? Make some noise. Who been standing with us since 2014 when we took the first donation in St. Louis? Who been standing with us since 2014 when we took the first donation in St. Louis? Who been standing with us since 2015? Who been standing with us since 2016? Who been standing with us since 2017?
Okay, what Umar said he took the first donation in what year, everybody? What year did Umar Johnson just say that he took the first donation? I'll wait. I want to prove a point right here. Give me one moment. I'm trying to find, let's see, the 2013 picture screenshots. Wait, I'm looking in the wrong photo. 2012. Here it is right here. Okay, Umar said, yeah, he said 2014, right? All right, well, he said he took the first donation. If you look right here, this is from December 24th of 2012. December 24th of 2012. We live in a world of spiritual paradoxes. If you want to live in the heart of the people forever, then you must die young. If you really love someone, you must give them the freedom to leave you if they so choose. To be admired by all, you must never admire yourself. To protect your children from harm, you must allow them to make some critical mistakes. To conquer your enemy, you must allow them to have his way at first. True beauty is invisible and cannot be seen with the naked eye. And then look what Umar Johnson types here. December 24th of 2012. Dr. Umar, potential site of FDMG Academy in San Bernardino, California. 6 acres have been gifted this past week to Team Pan African for those purposes. This is a donation. So even though Umar says that he didn't receive his first donation until 2014, what the receipts show, based upon what Umar posted on December 24th of 2012, that Umar received this donation in the form of land in 2012. Hit the one. Furthermore, in his World Beat Center diatribe, if you will, Umar, let me see here. Oh, it's not coming up. I don't know what the I was looking for. Let's see, World Beat Center, because he actually references this inside at the World Beat Center. I'll find the actual timestamp and then I will I'll pull it up. In the meantime, let me go ahead and go back to this other video. Okay, I'll be right back with this.
Who been standing with us since 2018, 2019? Who been standing with us since COVID 2020? Who been standing with us since 2021? What about 2022? What about 2023? What about 2024? What about 2025? And who just now coming to the train late, but we still welcome you? Who just now coming to the FDMG train late, but we still welcome you in 2026, brothers and sisters? Who's still coming to the FDMG train late, but we still welcome you in 2026, brothers and sisters? Put the year that you started donating to FDMG. Let me see some years. The first year was 2014. The current year is 2026. Put the year you started donating to FDMG. If you still donate, I only want to talk to people still donating. If you jumped off the train because the YouTubian struggle streamers got inside your head, you let the cyber thoughts.
Yeah, see, this is Umar. He's upset because he doesn't get the same levels of support that he used to or the same amount of money that he used to. And that has a lot to do with the different people, critics of Umar, that have exposed him, myself included, and the Cookie Crush chat.
You let these dusty cyber thoughts get inside your head.
Yeah, when he says cyber thoughts, he's talking about the women that have come out to expose him for his sexual deviancy and his exploitation. Like I said, there's another woman that came out recently and said that Umar took it. And this is a woman, I believe she donated $10,000, if memory serves me correctly, $10,000, and she also donated a bus to Umar. If she ever wants to come onto my platform, she's welcome to come on and tell her story.
I'm talking about if you still donating, hit the PayPal. PayPal.me.
See, it's all about money. And the issue is Umar, he's attempting to get out in front of this class action lawsuit. He does not want that class action lawsuit to go to court because in discovery, everything will be exposed.
How we doing, my brother? All right. Just trying to get this salt on down. Say something to the people one time.
Oh, man, you know what it is. Your boy on Flair here, man. Dr. Umar,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. We about to go for our building inspection this month, brother. Keep us in your prayers. If all goes well, the grand opening coming. We here. They didn't talk that shit.
See, he's been saying if all goes well for a long time. That's his way of padding, right? What is that called? It's hedging his bets, in essence.
Shit, but we here now.
What you think? What you think I'm talking about? Come on now, we adults here. What you think I'm talking about? She ain't the only one either who said this about Umar. Do I need to pull up the receipt with the lady? I don't even think I've ever played it, at least the whole thing of it. With the woman, she was a stroke survivor. And she claims that Umar essayed her. What y'all think I'm talking about? You want me to pull it up? Hit the one. I'll pull it up. At this point, especially with all the women who come out to express how Umar sexually exploited them, and then now we got women coming out saying that he took it. Yeah, I see some ones in here. Someone said don't. Okay. All right. I'm looking. I'm trying to find this receipt. I don't. For whatever reason, it's not coming up. When he talks about where he was land was donated to him. Okay, let me think about it. Okay, I really don't want to do it, but I'll think about it. Real quick, let me. Yeah, Bono Jack. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got yours earlier. Thank you. Shout out to Brother Malik. Okay, I got that one too. And then inspection is only the small building, right? Yeah, the inspection would be for. I'm going to assume the small building, the small buildings, the small what he calls a small school and the small gym. That's what would be the inspection because he ain't done nothing else, nothing on the other side of the street, and nothing at all. He turned it to a storage unit on the other side of the street. Okay. Okay, I'm still trying to find this this timestamp for this receipt when Umar was at the World Beach Center, and he talks about the land that was donated to him.
That he never got this. As long as you're
in Southern California. I can't remember. I think it's San Bernardino. I thought it was Riverside, but I think he said San Bernardino. Anyway, let's get back to the main video because we got like maybe 23 more minutes to go. Here we go.
All right, King. Be blessed. Be blessed. All right, King. Be salt on down. Say something to the people one time.
Oh, man, you know what it is. Your boy on Flair here, man. Dr. Umar,
yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir. We about to go for our building inspection this month, brother. Keep us in your prayers. If all goes well, the grand opening coming. We here. They didn't talk that shit, but we here now. All right, King. Be blessed.
Oh, Umar, don't be like that.
Be blessed. They talk that shit, but we ready now, baby. We ready now.
Not.
Put up or shut up.
Cut it out. You've been saying this for 7 years, man. Cut it out.
Where the school at? Where your school at? That's what I want.
Well, let's be clear about this. I've never stated that I was going to open up a school, nor that I raised millions of dollars saying that I was going to open up a school. So that's a false equivalency. It's amazing that Umar he's 51. You're still at this. It's crazy. Literally.
Where your school at? That's what I want to know.
Umar mad. He about to go off.
That's what I want to know. Where your school at? Stop worrying about where our school at. Where your school at? Because last time I checked, I'm the only one in the conscious community building a relevant institution.
Okay, you're not building anything. Building is actually building a structure. You've been renovating for 7 years and you haven't completed one thing yet. Not one classroom, not one office, no nothing. Anyway.
Last time I checked, I'm the only one in the conscious community building a relevant institution, and I'm the #1 black scholar on the planet, and I'm the most
Okay, this is narcissism. He also does this when he tries to make it up. When people question him about the school, he'll go into this mode where he starts to self-aggrandize. And that's where he's trying to make himself appear to be better than what he is. He'll overstate his certifications, education, what he's doing, for black people. He gets into this mode, but this is largely out of emotions and anger.
requested black scholar on the planet. And I'm the most influential black school psychologist of all time. And I'm the #1 black university guest lecturer of all time. So if I can build an institution, if I got time to build an institution, and I'm the main fighter in the school to prison pipeline.
Okay, none of this is true, and you still haven't built anything. You haven't opened up a school. Again, this is just narcissism. This is his anyway, let's say what.
And I'm the main fighter in the school to prison pipeline. So if I got time to build a relevant institution, what are your excuses? Ain't nobody twerking for you, family. We don't do that here, fam. Listen, no disrespect to the Zesty Brigade. No disrespect.
There he go, room 130. Cut it out, Umar.
To the Zesty Brigade, but you on the wrong platform. No disrespect. Go do what you do, family. Go do what you do. If you want to clap masculine cheeks, that's your business. If you want to clap.
All right. Okay. Don't make me pull it. Don't make me pull up the other thing, room 130. Don't make me do it, Umar. You getting reckless. Watch it now.
Masculine cheeks, that's your business. If you want to clap masculine cheeks, that's your business. But we don't do that around here, family. To each his own. If it ain't 5'5" thick in the thighs, feminine.
Cut it out, Umar. We know that's not true. Stop. Be you.
If it ain't butter almond or butter pecan, if it ain't mixed race African vanilla, if it ain't agave, if it ain't sweet brown sugar, if it ain't.
Yeah, see, the room 130 has gotten to Umar, and that's why he's going out of his way it's just over the top. That's why he's doing this.
Ain't hot chocolate, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. All natural Cinnabons, nothing artificial. All natural Cinnabons. If it ain't Cinnabon-licious, keep it pushing. If it ain't Cinnabon, listen, no disrespect. Do what you got to do for you. But around here, we believe in black on black love. No disrespect. No disrespect. We believe in traditional African family. Do what you got to do. Where are my beautiful African queens at? I ain't gave a shout out to the African queens at. Where are my beautiful Africans? Where are my sisters at? Give me some hearts and some love. Where are my sisters at out there? Where are my sisters at out there? From all around the African universe. I'm talking about from Angola to Alabama. From Birmingham, England to the Bronx, New York. From Jamaica in the Caribbean to Jamaica, Queens. That's right, brothers and sisters. We are from Australia to North Dakota. Where are the beautiful black sisters at? Oh, yes. FDMG is upon us.
And it becomes apparent to me that one of the reasons why he does that, we talk so much about, black women and the 5'5", it's just overcompensation for his, in my opinion, his bisexuality. I think that's what Umar, he's done this consistently for years. It's unfortunate. I mean, if that's your lifestyle, just live it. Just live it, Umar. Okay. Again, it's not going to change my analysis or my critique of you with this FDMG school scam, but at least you can be who you are. Here we go.
We going for inspection this month. The talk is over, brothers and sisters. The talk is over, brothers and sisters. It's time for us to do us. It is time for us. Somebody still got their dog shitting in front of the school. This don't make no damn.
Here we go. There's always something with this guy. He's been talking about this dog shit situation. It's been at least 6 years now. Remember PayPal the puppy? I can pull it up, but let's keep going. Umar, you a mess. And he got to show it too.
Damn sense, family. This though, why is your dog still shitting in front of the school?
Why are you showing this?
Can we do something about the dog shit? This is what I'm gonna do. Because I'm tired of asking y'all to stop letting your dog shit on.
What are you gonna do, Umar? He gonna say something crazy. Watch.
On our ground. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm putting cayenne pepper down.
What? What you talking about? This is y'all principle. 6 degrees, allegedly. For what? So to make the dog not take a shit? Come on, man. The dogs are going to do it. Never mind.
Please spread the word. Dr. Umar is putting cayenne pepper down all over FDMG. I'm putting cayenne pepper down. That's right. That's right.
He said all over FDMG. Umar, why?
I'm going to go to the poppy store and get five of those 5 pound.
The poppy store? What in the world are you talking about? Somebody on my steps. Was it you? Somebody shizzle on my steps. Was it you? Yeah. Somebody shizzle on my steps. Was it you? Somebody shizzle on my steps. Was it you? Was it true? Yeah. Was it true? Yeah. Was it true? Yeah. Was it true? Was it true? Yeah. Was it true? Yeah. Was it true? Yeah. Was it true? I apologize. I got the rhythm was off a little bit. Plus, going to the falsetto down to my regular voice is a little difficult. Somebody shizzle on my steps, hit the one. Somebody shizzle on my steps, where the sun. Somebody shizzle on my steps, 1:30. Somebody shizzle on my steps, where it gets down and dirty. Yeah. Shout out to Kiara. Thanks for the soup chat. Am I doing too much? Let me know. If I'm doing too much, just let me know. All right. Here we go.
Cayenne pepper buckets. And I'm going to cayenne pepper FDMG. I said I'm going to cayenne pepper FDMG. So you bring your snow puppy around here if you want. You bring your snow puppy around here if you want.
Yeah, Umar crashing out.
You bring your snow puppy around here if you want. They going to get that cayenne blast. Keep playing with me. Letting your dog shit all over the grounds. Y'all doing it on purpose. Y'all don't even clean the shit up.
Oh, don't be mad. The dog's gonna do what the dog's gonna do. It could be a random dog or stray. Umar, don't do that. Cut it out.
It's all right. I got something for your asses. We got something for you.
Umar's in stress mode. He's in duress mode. That's why he's behaving like this. He mad. He is. He mad. Real talk. Hit the one. He mad. He mad right now. Plus, he got to get out there in the cold and act like he's doing something and throw salt down all for no good reason. We supposed to be done. Anyway, we got a lot of work to get through. Boy, here you go.
We got something for you.
We got something for you. We got something for you in room 130. We got something for you. We got something for you in room 130. Yeah. Hit the 1. Hit the 3. Hit the 0 from FDMG. Yeah, hit the 1. Hit the 3. Hit the zero. FDMG, we got something for you. Yeah. In room 130. Okay. Am I doing too much? Let me know. If I'm doing too much, just let me know. We almost done. We gonna pick it back up tomorrow. My goodness gracious. Let's go. Room 130, yeah. Room 130, yeah. Big Papa. Scrub Daddy. Let me stop. It's out of my range. Here we go.
Woo! After we done today, I'm gonna need me a nice
back massage. Watch.
Nice.
From the Queens.
It's King Kongalicious. We still here doing what we do.
Yeah, see that beard, that gray coming in. Oh, poor Umar.
You feel me? Where we at, family? We're the Ifa Tunde. I got my I Love Ghana hoodie on. I Love Ghana hoodie on.
I apologize, everybody. I should have muted, but I apologize. I belched.
I got my I Love Ghana. Oh, we going to cayenne pepper their asses, brothers and sisters.
Oh, cut it out,
We're going
Umar.
to cayenne pepper their asses because I told them to stop letting them dogs shit all over the ground. We going to cayenne pepper. Woohoo. We going to cayenne pepper.
All right. We're going to leave it right here, y'all. This is what we're going to pick up tomorrow. He actually goes into the small gym. It looks like he has the floor buffed again. He's setting all this up. He's setting all this up in advance of getting on the Breakfast Club because he wants to get on there and say, we put in our certificate of occupancy. You know, we're just waiting on, or by that time he says it was rejected. And so now we got to fight against the city. He's setting all this up way in advance. He's been talking about the certificate of occupancy for about 2.5 years now. In fact, he was on the Breakfast Club talking about it, if memory serves me correctly. Matter of fact, let me see something. Let me see if he brought it up. No, he does. He doesn't bring it up prior to, yeah, okay, this makes sense. Anyway, we're going to pick it up here tomorrow. And not only are we going to look at this video, we're also going to look at some past videos of this particular gym. This isn't the small school. This is the gym. And we're going to cross-reference to see what has changed. And in point of fact, Umar being in this position, it's not that he's actually moved forward. He has basically gone back to the condition that these abandoned buildings were in particular, this small gym was in back in, let me see. Go to my gym. Okay. Back in 2021. Okay. In fact, here you go. Here's 2021. So we'll cross-reference this. So this is 2021. Umar does a video now in 2026.
Well,
and he looks like he has the floor buffed again. But in between this time, Umar worked backwards. And here is the receipt on that. This is from 2025.
Brothers and sisters, European Africans, the Africans in Asia, Australia, the South.
So it looks like he's gotten a lot of the stuff out of there, not all of it, but enough of it so that it looks presentable. And then he had the floors buffed again. But like I said, he had the floors buffed back in 2021. It's the same thing. And that's black mold too. If you guys look all the way in that back wall over there, the back wall, you see that the little black spots up, that's that black mold.
Just wanted to show y'all, my donors and loyal supporters, we just got the gym floor power washed, polished, buffed,
This is June 16th of 2021.
The Nat Turner Jean-Jacques Dessalines Gymnasium, just letting y'all know.
And then in 2025, October 1st of 2025.
I know we working, family. We cleaning /anxious community.
Look at this.
Oh, yes. West Virginia.
So he's trying to get out in front of the lawsuit, and he has to show and prove. Otherwise, they're going to take him to court. And if that happens, then the books are going to be open. They're going to request in discovery. They're going to request financials. And that's when everything would be exposed, and everything I've been saying about Umar Johnson dealing with the school scam financials, it'll all be revealed, right? And so what Umar Johnson does is today he goes up there to these abandoned buildings, and he's had the floors buffed again, as we can see here.
Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
He's also gotten a lot of the stuff out of there. Okay, this is all preemptive.
Nat Turner Gymnatorium. Welcome to the Jean-Jacques Dessalines Nat Turner Gymnatorium.
All right, we'll pick it up right here. By the way, I couldn't find the timestamp for when Umar was in San Diego at the World Beach Center, where he talks about the land that was donated to him. I have copious amounts of notes on that video, but for whatever reason, I didn't put it in. I'm going to have to find that and make sure that I add it to my notes, because that's important to recognize. Umar received donations going back again to 2012. Right? Here's the receipt right here. But he also talks about this in 2013 in an actual video. Okay, I want to thank everyone for tuning on in. I'm going to get to these last super chats, and then we'll close out the show. We have a lot of work ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Umar has 2 other videos outside of this one. We'll finish this one tomorrow and get into the next one. And then, of course, he has the 7-year anniversary coming up this coming Saturday of his acquiring these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. We'll do a review of his school announcement video from 2019, February 2019, his school promo video from February 2019, and the outside tour from 2019. That'll be on deck for Saturday. I normally don't live stream on Saturdays, but we'll do a marathon on that day. And then we'll also be waiting to see whether or not Umar goes live on Saturday to give this major FDMG update. If he does, we'll cover that during that live stream as well. We have a lot of work ahead of us. So the schedule will be tomorrow. We'll get back tomorrow. We'll do part 2. And then on Thursday, we'll get together to do part 3 of this, so that we can get to all these other videos. That'll get us reset. I don't plan on live streaming on Friday, but that'll get us reset for Saturday. And then we'll get into the videos that I talked about earlier. Okay, that's going to be the schedule. Thank you guys. Everyone inside the Cook chat for tuning on in. If you enjoyed the show, and if you watched this in the archive, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that like button. Looks like we're at 933. We have an outside chance to get to 1,000 before we get up out of here. Okay, can we go for it? If y'all don't mind, 932. I think we can do it. Okay, make sure you hit that like button. Let me go ahead and close out this poll. We have 2,145 votes. The poll question is: why is Umar trying to finish renovations after saying that renovations were complete in 2023? And I'll provide those receipts tomorrow, where he says that renovations were complete in 2023. 20% said to give the illusion of progress. 14% said the fear of he fears the donor's class action lawsuit. 3% said he fears Lenon and Cook holding him accountable. And then 64% say all of the above. I'm going to go with all of the above. I think all this is relevant to what Umar is attempting to do at this point. And again, the Umar Johnson saga continues. We're going to see how all this plays out over the next couple of months. Okay. Let me go ahead and close out that poll. Again, we had over 2,147 votes. So thanks to everyone who voted on that poll. Okay. And let me just refresh this here. We're at 963 likes. Okay, we may be able to do it. We're probably gonna be here for like about maybe 5 more minutes. Let me do these the final super chats that people sent in, and thanks everyone for sending in super chats too. I appreciate it. Okay, I got that one earlier. Thank you so much. Yeah, and this is for the inspections for the small buildings. Okay, that's the small, what he calls a small gym and the small school. That's why he shows the small gym, and it's been buffed. He's taken a lot of the trash up out of there. This is all getting ready to attempt to extend this scam even indefinitely. Okay, he's been doing it anyway, but even further. Thank you, Black Wolf. Pulled it up. Yeah, this is, you were probably talking about the audio. It's audio of a woman who claims that that Umar essayed her. At some point, I will. Okay, we won't do it during this live stream. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, TJ. Kadara says he been sprinkling unnecessarily. Yeah, but that's all for show. Okay, it's all for show. He's doing that to show, act like he's doing work. Right, it serves no purpose whatsoever. But then he funnels that into, he's going to go. He already knows what he's going to do. He funnels that into going into the smaller building, and then based upon the screenshots that I took earlier, he actually goes into the the small, what he calls a small school too as well. It's going to be interesting to see what he actually shows. Right? I have a sense that he's going to show very little when he actually goes into that small building, the small, what he calls a small school. I think he's going to show very little. He ain't going to show each and every single room as if renovations are complete. We're going to see. We're going to see. Thank you, Dar. D. Will says, "Where's my school? Non-existent like yours, Umar." Yeah, that Umar, but he said that, and that's one of the main excuses made by Umar Johnson followers is, "Where is your school?" But yeah, but that's a false equivalency. I never said that we're going to open up a school. D. Will never said that he was going to open up a school. Dominique never said he was going to open up a school. Amy never said she was going to open up a school. You see the point? But Umar does that, and he said that so many times. It's deflection. But none of us, and nobody in the Cook said we're going to open up a school. Furthermore, we didn't raise millions of dollars after we said that we were going to open up a school. So you see the false equivalency? But that's one of the primary excuses that is given, consistently been given by Umar, and then through mind control, his supporters, they mimic, they parrot that over and over and over again. Okay, thank you, D. Will. I call Cap says, say Umar build a relationship with your kids. Umar build a relationship with your kids. I said it. Okay, not mine. Your kids. Okay. Umar, you need to take care of your kids in the first place. All right. Thank you. I call Cap. TJ says, pot meat kettle Umar, we got you in room 130. Yeah. Now you guys see why Umar, he did not want that video to come out. And Marion Lauren already told me was in it. Okay, but we already know what was going on. We already know what the deal is, Umar. So just, live in your truth. That's all I'm saying. Okay, ain't gonna make me no difference, homeboy. Live in your truth. It's 2026. All right. Thanks, TJ. Sister Travis says, pull up Marianne video with dude from room 130. No, I'm not gonna play that. I'm not gonna play that. All right. I can't. But hey, Dave, I'll leave it right there. Thanks, Sister Traveler. Smart Barbie says, I know the people in the neighborhood are tired of him yelling and spitting into that phone, disturbing the peace. Where is Mama Oya when you need her? Yeah. When people see Umar, when he's up there, they just see him as like another homeless person or someone who's, a dope fiend. They don't see him as like someone who's doing anything, because he ain't done anything. It's been almost it'd be 7 years and 3 days. It'd be 7 years. Think about that. That's a long time. And he hasn't provided one service to that community. He threw 2 block parties, but he hasn't provided a book bag, a drive, some sort of a turkey drive for Thanksgiving, a Christmas gift drive for the kids up over there, sporting events, so forth and so on. He hasn't done anything of consequence. So when they see Umar, they don't see him as someone who's like a community activist out there. He's just a bum from Philadelphia who used donation money to purchase these trap bundles for in and around $400,000. Okay, even though he says that it was around $700,000. Okay, his IRS file, what he says the IRS was something like $436,000, something to that effect. So he's someone who's a bum from Philly, came up on all this money. He purchased trap bundles in Wilmington, Delaware, and hasn't done anything with them ever since. That's it. And that's how they see him out there. And then he's out there yelling and screaming inside of his phone. All right. That's y'all's principle too, by the way. Okay. Smart Barbie, thank you so much for the subject. Carol says, was it choo, choo, choo? Did I say it that way? I said you. I might have said choo. All right. Thanks, Carol. Why you got to bring that up earlier? I went off on that. Thank you. How's it going, Kid Wanda says, this clown is actually walking around with a box of Morton salt, shaking it around the trap. Was it Morton? I didn't even look at the bag. Ain't no telling with this guy. Umar, he take bath salt, throw him out there. He takes seasoned salt. He throw anything out there. That's Umar. I didn't even notice. I did not look at the bag. Thanks, Kid Wanda. Mr. I don't give a shizzle says Mike Cayenne pepper my kids if I step on another Lego block. I remember them days. Boy, them kids, they leave Legos all over the place. It's just mess your feet up. I miss those days. Yeah. We remember we have nostalgia. Sometimes we be talking about when the kids were, like kids. And we missed those days. It was rough time, but it was the best times of our lives. Real talk. Thank you so much, Mr. I don't give a shizzle. Yeah. We always had Legos. That's one thing the kids always had Legos. Kel says, sang it. Thank you so much, Kel. I appreciate it. I didn't mean to. Someone just brought it up. I went a little crazy with it. Thank you for super chat. Thank you for super chat, Kels. Thank you. YouTube says we should cover Mary Ann's call with script. Now I can't play that. I can't play that one. I saw it though. I saw it. And then Kitwana says, imagine the lawsuits if he allows children in those moldy buildings. Yeah, Umar is a lawsuit waiting to happen. This is another thing in terms of litigation. Even the premise of this fanciful school that he's going to open is supposed to be all black boys. You can't do that because you can't discriminate based upon race. Okay, race being a social construct, not a scientific fact. But we'll go there anyway. He opens himself to litigation on that fact alone. Right. Furthermore, with Umar's sexual deviancy, he's going to open himself to all types of lawsuits because the way he talks about how things are going to be structured and organized with cameras, hidden cameras, and all this stuff. And when the women come to his office and he needs a woman, to come and give him secretaries to give him a massage. Massage is code word for knocking the boots. Hit the one. Okay, Umar Epstein. So yeah, litigation going to be a serious issue with this guy, let alone exposing children to a mold infested building or buildings. Who knows what else is going on up in there too? Because when the EPA, when they did their report, they said that there's no records of any recent analysis of what is the term that they use? No recent inspections for I don't know, toxins or something like that. So that could be like lead paint, asbestos, or what have you. So what that means is that back in 2019, Umar didn't do that. Are we to believe that he's done it since? No, not at all. Right? I apologize. I can't remember the exact term that was used, but it's in the report. Thank you, Kitwana, for the super chat. And then, hey, how's it going? Heartbreaker from the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx says, oh, I missed those Lego blocks. Yeah. They used to tear us up, me and my wife, and then you clean them up, and then you look, and they're back down there. But my children, they used to have a really fantastic time with the Legos. That's one thing we can remember. We used to get them Legos. Sometimes we would get Legos not in boxes, but like buckets. They'd be on eBay for cheap, and we would just get those, and they would love that. Man, I'm telling you, those are some good old days. That's before the children got all into cell phones and all that stuff. But nowadays they just anyway. So you see, I'm starting to get nostalgia. I'm waiting for the grandbabies. Real talk. Shout out to the Bronx. Thank you, Heartbreaker from the Bronx. Appreciate you. Okay, let's go ahead and close this out. Did we get to 1,000? Let me just check here real quick. We get to 1,000 likes. We have 996. Okay, we need 4 more. Okay, let's make it happen. Everyone inside the Cookie Crush chat. Thank you guys again, everyone, for tuning on in. We had over 1,800 people, 1,800 people. We haven't done those type of numbers in a really long time. So now is the time. We have a lot to get into over the next couple of weeks and probably over the next couple of months too, depending on how everything goes with this FDMG school scam and Umar allegedly putting in certificate of occupancy. I want to thank everyone inside the Cookie Chat. Thanks to the mods for handling business. Also, thanks to everyone who sent in super chats. I appreciate all the support. If you send in super stickers as well, thank you so much. That was my jam, H-Town knocking the boots. Yeah, I remember. If y'all don't know what that means, well, now you know. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to say, knocking the boots back in the day. All right, hitting the skins. That's what we used to say. It's inappropriate, but that's what we used to That's what we used to say back in the day. Anyone else used to say that? Hit the one. or maybe you shouldn't hit the one. All right, but we said getting them skins. You know what I'm saying? That's so bad when I think about it. But hey, listen, we all been there, right? Okay. Shout out to everyone inside the Cookie Crush chat. I hope you all enjoyed the show. We'll be back tomorrow with part 2, and we have a lot to get into, a lot to cover. Hopefully, you guys will be coming back tomorrow. Shout out to Cookie Crush chat. Shout out to Kogo, too, for putting this together. Hit the 1 for Rule 130. Hit the 130. Let's go. It's raining and everything.
Rap people, great work today.
Shout out to Information Man, Rosetta and Key Lager. Hey, let's go. Kingdom, sweet tea. Yeah.
Light. are rolling on a movie set today.
Instant classic. Instant classic. You know what?
Things away.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Roofing in room 130. Let me go to spend my hair real nice and make me look real pretty.
Benjamin.
Rose over
One shot gaming. Oh yeah, sweet D. It's a lot of people tuning on me. 1:30. Yeah, come on back tomorrow, everybody. Yeah, come on back tomorrow. Let me let this play. Let me let this song play. Okay, stop the name.
At the Red Roof.
Let's go.
My guy gonna do my hair and make me look real pretty. Ain't no couch where he can sleep, but the bed real sturdy. So come and stay the night in room 130. Drink so big they barely fit the silver screen.
Don't do that, Eddie.
Director yells, cut as we end another scene. Red Roof nights,
all right.
When me and the homie B sponge my hair all night.
Yes, sir.
Probably won't get no sleep. Rose over.
Kogo made this. Shout to Kogo, everybody. Let's give him some love in the chat room. Quick Rush Chat's undefeated. Let's go.
Turn it down.
Otra vez.
You know where we need.
Yeah, you right about that.
At the Red Roof.
Crap.
My guy gonna do my
hair
and make me look real pretty.
He's free.
Ain't no couch where he can sleep, but the bed real sturdy. So come and stay
Yeah, that's
the
what they said.
night.
Yeah.
In room 130.
Yeah, this is an instant classic tonight. Make sure y'all come back tomorrow, okay? We reached the goal of 1,000 likes. We're at undefeated. Let's go!
My guy gonna do my hair and make me look real pretty.
Right.
Ain't no couch where he can sleep, but the bed real sturdy. So come and stay the night in room 130.
Yeah, that's what he said. Make it look real pretty. You gotta get it washed. You gotta get that hair, what is it called? Condition. You gotta get that hair spun. Yeah, Umar, everybody, before we get up out of here, make sure you say what's up to Umar, because he is in the chat room right now. All right, shout out to Umar. Thanks for tuning on in, Umar. We'll be back to tomorrow too, by the way, okay? Okay, thanks everyone for tuning on in. It's an instant classic. Also, thanks to James for letting me know that Umar went live today. I appreciate that. And we'll be back tomorrow. We got a lot of work ahead of us. Okay, and by the way, I'm also working on the next segment of the documentary. I'm about 40 minutes in, something like that. And I want to have that premiere next week for members. Okay, and it's a doozy. Okay, we got a lot of work ahead of us. Okay, shout out to everyone inside the Cook Rush Chat. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed the show and you haven't hit the like button, go on and hit that like button. If you watch this in the archive and you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that like button. It helps a lot. Leave a comment too. Okay, leave a comment down below in the archive. I'd appreciate that as well. Thanks to everyone who sent in super chats today. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of your support. Okay, Lord give it, Lord take it. I do not take it for granted. I'm thankful. Okay, if you sent in super stickers, thank you so much. Also, I want to thank the mods for handling business today. Appreciate y'all as well. Okay. Listen, y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll be back tomorrow with part 2, and we'll be back the following day with part 3, and then we will be doing a marathon on Saturday. Okay, so we have a lot. Like I said, I keep saying it, we got a lot of work ahead of us. Okay, shout out to everyone inside the Cook Chat's undefeated. Love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all very, very soon. All right, take care. Peace.